The Moose Jaw Warriors have come out to play in the opening round of the WHL playoffs, giving the Scotty Munro Trophy winners from Calgary all they can handle. The Hitmen have staved off elimination twice so far, pushing this series to a one-game winner-take-all on home ice. Keep your hands and feet inside the playoff vehicle at all times. Game 7 between the Warriors and Hitmen starts now.
Brandon Kozin has played in pressure situations like the gold medal game at the World Junior Championships, but tonight marks his first Game 7 in the WHL playoffs. How will he handle it? Thomas Frazee has found a home in Moose Jaw for stops at Portland and Medicine Hat. He has excelled as a Warrior. He's tied for the team lead in playoff scoring so far with 9 points. Good evening and welcome to Calgary's Ben Girls Saladome for Game 7 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal between Moose Jaw and Calgary. My name is Dan Elliott, and we will begin with the series pregame show right here on Shaw. Not since 1980 has a WHL regular season champion not moved on past the first round of the playoffs. That year, it was the Portland Winterhawks, but it could happen again tonight. For the third straight game, the Calgary Hitmen are on the brink of the elimination. The difference, though, this evening is that after being down 3-1 in this series, Calgary has evened it up at 3 games apiece, putting Moose Jaw also 1 loss away from having their season come to an end. The Warriors weren't supposed to mount much of a challenge for the Hitmen, considering Calgary had won 23 of their final 26 games of the regular season. But thanks to some stellar goaltending, some outstanding play from their top line, the Warriors have been able to keep pace with a team that had 29 more points during the regular season. Now, in terms of Game 7 experience, there are 4 guys tonight who know what to expect. 2 from each team, Michael Stone and Misha Vasenko from Calgary, Thomas Frazee and Dylan Hood from Moose Jaw. And one final footnote for you, keep this in mind, back in 2006, Calgary and Moose Jaw played in a Game 7. That night, the Warriors came here to the Saladome, pulled off the upset en route to the WHL final. With more now on what to expect here in Game 7, let's bring in the 2 men calling the action, Dan Russell and Bill Williams.
Thank you very much, Dan. Well, these WHL playoffs began with a standalone game, and Moose Jaw came in and shocked Calgary in Game 1, and then it turned to utter amazement, Bill, when they won Game 2.
Dan, it's really been a near-death experiment for this Calgary Hitmen team, and it's not over yet. It's scary. They had not lost 2 in a row since mid-January, so they found themselves in a big hole, and they tried hard to work.
Here's how the series has gone so far. The last 2 games, the Hitmen have beat the Warriors by scores of 7-3 and 5-2. So Calgary's turned the tide. They seemingly have found some momentum, and they've looked to their captaining and Schultz, and also to Brandon Kozin for that.
Well, Brandon Kozin was challenged by the coaches to provide more for Game 5. Well, how did he do? The Hitmen win that game 5-2. He gets a goal and 3 assists. In fact, you know, the 3 veteran Hitmen players, Kozin, Stone, and Schultz, were all the 3 stars in that 5-2 win. The story of the playoffs for me is this guy right here, Ian Schultz. I mean, you watch his career, Dan, he's just gotten better and better. 15 goals last year, 24 this year, 5 playoff goals right now, leads the team. And all the time, Ian Schultz is still that big, physical, tough guy to play against on the ice. He's been special for the Hitmen.
And he has scored goals in back-to-back games. He spoke with Brendan Parker a short time ago.
Ian, what sparked the turnaround in this series?
I think it was Game 3. We went in their building. It's a hard place to play, and I think they had one of the best home records in the league. And we came out and played our game to a T, and we took a big win out of there. That kind of gave us hope and momentum, and then we just carried throughout. They took Game 4, but we battled back from 3-1, and we got ourselves here. We're not going to let that go easily.
Offensively, do you feel like scoring can come from all lines?
Absolutely. We got the most depth I've ever seen on a team. We got 1 to 4 can score no matter what. If they get an opportunity, and we just got to bear down on our chances and make it happen.
Thanks for this.
Thanks.
All right, let's turn our attention now to Moose Jaw. I mean, you asked them 2 weeks ago, would you take a one-game winner-take-all? And absolutely they would have. They've got great goaltending from Jeff Bosch. Their offense has been sparked, too, by the return of Quentin Howden.
Yeah, Quentin Howden's been very special for this hockey team all year. You're looking at the first overall pick in the 07 Bantam draft. 65 points, led the Warriors. The thing about Quentin Howden makes him so good, Dan, he's an effortless but powerful skater. He drives defensemen back, gives his team opportunities, and you see what he did in his first game back. The other guy on that team that really is so good for this hockey club and has been is number 20, Jason Bast. 6 goals, he's tied for the lead in the WHL playoffs. It's a bit of a bad news, good news story for Bast. He hasn't scored in his last 2 games. That's a little bit of a problem, but he has scored 3 of his 6 goals here at the Saddledome. I think he's going to have a special game here tonight, as he has for the Moose Jaw Warriors to win.
Playing for his hometown team as a 20-year-old, and he spoke with Brendan a short time ago.
Jason, does this team still have the confidence to pull off a win in this series?
Absolutely. We've won here before, and we know we can do it again if we put our capabilities.
What makes the difference in a Game 7?
It's just all the small things. I mean, we got to block shots, finish checks, and wear them down.
Thanks for this.
Thanks.
Game 7's Calgary, 3 wins and 4 losses over the years. Moose Jaw, 1-1. Back to you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dan. We all know how very important it is to get on the board first. The team that has scored first in this series has gone on to win 5 of 6 games. Do not go anywhere. The opening face-off of Game 7 between the Warriors and Hitmen, it's coming up next right here on the WHL on Shaw.
Last year alone, Waste Management recycled enough paper to save over 41 million trees. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green. Think Waste Management.
With over 80 years of experience, Williams Moving and Storage can plan and coordinate any office from start to finish, so you can focus on getting back to business. Online estimates at williamsmoving.com.
To help the future of sport in Western Canada, Husky has been a long-standing supporter of the WHL's education program. Sponsorships to scholarships, Husky is committed to Canada's youth on the ice and in the classroom. Naturally, it's Husky.
Thank you.
A highly anticipated Game 7, and regardless of how these two teams got here, the slate is wiped clean here tonight. Head coach Mike Williamson and the Calgary Hitmen say, yeah, given the situation, they're happy to be here, but the goal has been reset tonight. It's win one game. As for the Moose Jaw Warriors, well, their mentality is it's Game 1 all over again. Head coach Dave Hunchak said they had pressure in Game 6, but tonight, no pressure whatsoever. We'll find out if they play like it. Let's go upstairs to Dan and Bill. Guys.
Thank you, Brendan. Let's meet our Waste Management starting goaltenders. They've been the starters through the whole series. Jeff Bosch, 19 years old, from Martinsville, Saskatchewan, a former Regina Pat. There's his numbers in the series. And there's Martin Jones from North Vancouver, a 19-year-old in his 4th year, Los Angeles Kings signed player. And the referees for tonight's game, both very, very experienced, as you might well imagine, in a Game 7. Chris Savage, who we saw last night on Shaw at Medicine Hat, working with Pat Smith, Jeff Jobson, and Tyler Adair are the linesmen. The 4th playoff series between these two teams all time is going to the brink now. Game number 7 underway here in Calgary, with Moose Jaw winning the opening faceoff and shooting the puck in. The Moose Jaw Warriors in the dark uniforms. Dylan McElrath put that puck in. There's a centering pass, went off a leg, and Calgary's got the puck, and out they come, led by Dale Cowan. Cowan sort of misplayed the puck, but it's brought in deep. Cowan had a huge night the other night. He wears number 24 for Calgary. Going back to chase it down is Matt McKenzie. In on the forecheck is Thomas Frazee. As McKenzie plays it around these near boards, it's swept back into the corner. Warriors are on it. Putting it down low with Seward. There's a centering pass that went off the back of the net, and Dale Cowan picks it up again. Cowan is one of the overage players on Calgary. There's Brandon Cozen's first touch of the puck. WHL scoring champion backhands it behind the Moose Jaw goal. Kendall McFall plays it around the board, trying to collect it was Paradis, but he's off the puck. Calgary trying to chase it down in this corner. Warriors were on it, but they gave it away. Here's an opportunity for Schultz and a move. Schultz goes right to the net, and Bosch covers it up. A power move to the net by the player Bill profiled on our opening. Ian Schultz.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, he goes in, delivers a hit, creates a loose puck, ends up him taking it to the net. This is exactly what Schultz does. We talked about it. Here comes the hit. There's the collision. There's the... Well, that's just chipped out. It comes around a little bit further the other side, but it was a great job, I thought, by Schultz going in on the forecheck, creating that puck, and ended up him taking it to the net himself.
You and I remarking earlier today, Bill, that if Moose Jaw's to pull the upset, you think Jeff Bosch has to be one of the 3 stars tonight.
You know, I'm not so sure both goalies. One, you know, the one that wins this hockey game tonight should be one of the 3 stars. I think the goaltending matchup's that important.
Foucault tests Bosch, and he makes that save and controls the rebound.
You know, just a little further to what Dave Hunchak told Brendan Parker when he talked about his confident hockey club. They are a confident group offensively. You go back to Game 6 in Moose Jaw, they fired 22 shots at the Calgary net in period 2 alone. Then there was a stretch, they fired 11 shots in a row on the net. And having Quentin Howden back, you know, for his second game is certainly going to help that.
And then going all the way back to Game 1, they had a whole period where they didn't get a shot, but they were protecting a lead back here in Calgary. Nyren shot through traffic, and that did not reach the net. Schultz was in front, just couldn't get the puck. Connor Cox has it for Moose Jaw. He knocks it off the glass, and it's right on the stick of Rowinski, still looking for his first point in this series, number 19. And he's a factor here tonight because Rowinski, the former Hitman, had 30 goals on the season, and they need somebody else to step up. Calgary has 13 different players who have scored. Moose Jaw has only 7. So maybe Rowinski's turn. Who knows? Here's Jason Bass. He has scored a lot. There's a drop pass. Opportunity there for Stanton, and a shot and a rebound, and that's not quite getting on goal as it was knocked off the path of the net. If McElrath took that shot, it was blocked just before it got to Jones, and there's a sharp angle shot. McElrath puts it behind the net, or at least to the corner. Finally gets behind the goal. Battle there. There's a couple of Hitmen there. McKenzie gobbles up the puck. Backhands it out to the neutral zone. 2.5 minutes gone here in the first period. Each team with 1 shot on goal.
Okay, terrific start, Dan, for both teams. Very intense, and what I like about it, teams are getting shots on the net. They're getting shots through, and it's requiring some very good defensive play, some very good defensive coverage.
Jimmy Bubbing at the puck. Couldn't maintain possession. McElrath has it. Pass over to the open wing is tipped down the ice, and it is icing on Moose Jaw.
What a difference a year makes, Dan. Last year, the Calgary Hitmen swept the first 3 rounds 12-0. Now, finally, I believe they're on a roll. They've scored 12 goals in their last 2 games. As a matter of fact, in their last 3 wins to tie the series, the Calgary Hitmen have outscored the Warriors 19-8. So you got to believe they've got their ship righted a little bit. But boy, it all comes down to what happens in the next just under 60 minutes.
Or more. We've seen overtime before, and there hasn't been any in this series yet. Don't want to say we're due for it, but that puck rattles all the way down the ice. Calgary getting possession. Wilson flipping it high along the glass. That was cut off by Cody Smuck. Warriors shot from the line through the traffic again. Over top the net. There's a collision back there. Hitman able to move it out. Foucault tipping it forward. And now the puck goes out of play at the Moose Jaw bench.
I think an interesting evolution in this series is a matchup of the goaltending. You know, if you take a look at the first 2 games played in Calgary, Jeff Bosch, .963 save percentage, made 78 saves of 81 shots. Martin Jones was .822. How about the last 2 games? Martin Jones, .920 save percentage, and Jeff Bosch down at .831. You know, obviously the best goaltender tonight. He's got a real good chance of leading his team to victory.
Puck shot in, Moose Jaw on it. Sewer trying to move it up the wall, could not. Beach from behind the net, tied up by Sewer. Around the boards on the far side. Warriors have it. Look like they're going to get it out, and they have a little bit of room to move it as they shoot it in. Giving chase on this near side is Danny Gale, number 17, tied up there. Gale trying to maintain possession. McMaster takes a shot. That's knocked down outside the line. And here goes the Hitman. Lead pass to Sylvester. Sylvester shooting. He scores! We saw his older brother last night on Shaw. Younger brother Cody opens the scoring tonight on Shaw.
You know, there's a real good job, I think, the Hitmen do when they created a loose puck between the blue lines. I looked up, and the one thing I saw was one guy skating exceptionally hard through the neutral ice area. That was Cody Sylvester. Terrific lead pass to him. He pulled up, he stopped. There it is. Cody Sylvester was flying down that right wing. Goes upstairs, glove side. Cody Sylvester, that's his 4th goal of the playoffs. Terrific, terrific playoff for that young man.
Assistant number 32, Cody Beach. Time of the goal, 3 minutes, 56 seconds. So
now Stanton takes a shot. I mean, just to punctuate that a little further, Sylvester 4 goals in the playoffs, 10 goals all season. So he's really come alive here. And he opens up the scoring in this big 7th game. Now Calgary is charged with icing.
You talk a difference in playoff experience between these two teams. The Calgary Hitmen, 321 games. The Moose Jaw Warriors, 95. You know, it's a real different type of, 2 different types of teams. The Calgary Hitmen, Dan, have got 8 NHL drafted or signed players. That team in black, the Moose Jaw Warriors, have exactly 1. And by the way, congratulations to Ryan Stanton. He has signed with Chicago in the last couple of weeks.
Here comes Brandon Kozin. Kozin going wide. Kozin still with it. Head up. Who's he going to pass to? Lost the puck. No one to pass to. That scoring play was interesting, almost like a passing of the torch of sorts. As you had Sylvester, I referenced his brother. Here's Fiddler going in. Fiddler holding, shooting in. And that stop. And Beach got the assist, and his older brother, Kyle Beach, is playing tonight in the Spokane-Portland series.
Again, you know, a little bit of good work, I think, by the Hitmen between the blue lines. You know, this is now twice they've done that, Dan. When they've created a turnover, you look up and they've got guys moving their feet. And anybody will always tell you that moving your feet's the biggest part about it. By the way, Fiddler's still fighting a little bit of the flu. Fiddler, I think they left him in Moose Jaw after one of the games. He had to drive all the way back from Moose Jaw to Calgary with Joel Otto. I don't know how much fun that was driving with a coach, but Fiddler's been very, very good for this team.
Joel Otto could reminisce about his Game 7 experiences himself in this building. By the way, Calgary has now scored 13 of the last 20 goals in this series. Here's Cowan coming off the boards, trying to get it in front there for Bubnik. Shattuck on this side, held in by Cowan, and he just dumps it behind the net. Fans respond on the back check there as now Shattuck goes and throws a check. Cowan too, but here comes Moose Jaw out of their own zone. Crazy in over the blue line. Rolls it towards the net. The puck is there, and Jones able to move it. Pretty good. He couldn't reach the rebound, but he still controlled it. McElrath goes cross ice. 5:20 gone. Check that, 5:40 gone here in the first period. Giving chase there is Zach Stebner, number 11 for Calgary. In on the forecheck was defenseman Ryan Stanton. As Fisenko goes down, he's very slow to get up. In fact, he hasn't gotten up yet, and that's why we get a whistle. Fisenko back of the net, hurt, and I'm not exactly sure what happened to him.
You know, it's not often that you'll see a defenseman like Stanton, number 4, go in that deep. Watch him. He's in the offensive zone forechecking, and that sets up this hit.
Whoa, that's,
you know, when that puck is brought around, the control is gotten of that puck by Fisenko, and he simply gets this back support on the forecheck. It all started with Stanton in there, and it certainly finished. Was that Jesse Paredes with the hit?
Yes, it
and
was.
You see Fisenko taking off. That's the kind of forecheck. That's the pressure that I think the Warriors want to exert in the offensive zone. That was a good job.
Fisenko played in that Game 7 last year we had between Vancouver and Saskatoon. So there's Jesse Paredes there. Winnipeg boy throwing that big check. We'll see if that gives his team an added jolt. Offensive zone face-off for the Moose Jaw Warriors, who, by the way, are celebrating their 25th anniversary in Moose Jaw. And how would that be for a celebration to finish off one of the big upsets of all time in the league? They have to come from behind tonight. But a 1-8 matchup, 25th anniversary, that would be sweet. Fiddler shooting the puck in. McElrath played it around the boards. It's out here to center and shot right back in again. Bosch out of his net. And he'll leave it there for Ryan Stanton, 20 years old from St. Albert. And he's starting very slowly. And Hitmen are not rushing him at all. In fact, Hitmen are happy to make a line change while Stanton Stands behind the net. Here he comes.
Last time we saw Stanton, he was in the offensive zone behind the net.
Edwards shoots it in from the neutral zone, and he'll head to the bench on a line change. Wrapped around these boards by Stebner. Right on the stick of Joel Broda. Broda, always dangerous. Shot, went off a leg wide. Broda has 41 playoff games, 17 playoff goals. And again, Moose Jaw very slow to come out of their own zone. Chad Sewer up the boards. There was a hit as it's tipped down the ice, no icing. Jones, they get crossed up a little bit. Calgary does. Sharp angle shot was knocked down, and here comes Cowan. Well, Cowan will roll it in, and he'll give chase, trying to avoid one defenseman. He goes in and makes a hit on the other one. Cowan still working along these boards. Pass trying to kick it up. They'll switch to the other side as Smith plays it over there for Quentin Howden. Howden is hit. That causes a turnover and a shot on Bosch, and he holds on.
I think the Moose Jaw Warriors are going to have this kind of an effort by Jeff Bosch. This is all from the first 2 games in this building. He was absolutely terrific. Really, really strong support. You know, fought for the puck at the top of the crease area. A couple of defensive breakdowns with guys coming through. And, you know, how about that terrific position on Brendan Cozen coming into his crease? He's given up one here on a Sylvester shot that went over the glove side, but I think he's certainly also a key to this team.
24 wins on the season and 6 shutouts as he makes another save. That's the 5th shot he's faced.
He's been working with former Calgary Flames goalie coach David Marcoux, and you know, he says it's really been a big help to him. But you know, you look at both goaltenders, save percentage, even so far, you know, overall in the series, I referenced their save percentage in the first 2 games and last 2 games, but neither Jones nor Bosch at this point are at 90.
Kendall McFall plays it over on this side. It is knocked out now into the Calgary zone, and there's Michael Stone. Stone, lead pass for Sylvester off his stick. Warriors are going to try to start the other way. McFall plays it up the ice. Honasek, who has 4 goals. Czech Republic player out there on the ice, so he's a dangerous Moose Jaw Warrior. He wears jersey number 29. Schultz tips it in. Broda going in on the forecheck. Nice hit there on Stanton. But the Warriors able to get possession, clear it out. As they roll it in, Jones will leave it at the side of the net, and here goes Wilson. Wilson, his outlet pass to Schultz. There's Broda now in over the line, but Cozen was offside.
Well, take a listen to these Game 7 that the Calgary Hitmen won a couple years ago against the Kootenay Ice. This is how it ended that night in Cranbrook.
Calgary has dodged a huge bullet with the goalpost. Can they take advantage? Fegren in front for Duval! Scores! It's over! The Calgary Hitmen!
Boy, I'll tell you, just like it happened yesterday in Duval with that terrific goal, and remember correctly, it came right after the ice had hit the goalpost in the Calgary zone.
Sure did. March of 07. That's the last Calgary Game 7 action. Duval the hero that night. Here is Moose Jaw. Centering pass and a shot stopped. Another shot is stopped. They get 2 whacks at it there. The second whack was taken by Nathan McMaster. And of course, with that traffic, not surprisingly, we get some pushing and shoving.
You know, Nathan McMaster plays always bigger than he actually is. He's only 5'11", but boy, they say he plays like he's 6'2". And again, contact behind the net. Good job by the Warriors. That is terrific job they're doing to get at that loose puck. Jones would have nothing to do with it. Did a good job of holding his fort. There's a roughing call. There's a high sticking call. Looks like, well, there's only got the 1 penalty up on the board so far, but to me it looked like 2 signals there. Now they got them both up right now, but that's a good job by Moose Jaw. They've got to keep doing that.
So we get some 4-on-4 action for the first time as you look at Mike Williamson.
Wonder how much he's aged in the last week or so.
So 4-on-4 hockey, and the Moose Jaw Warriors trailing 1-0. Have the puck deep into Calgary territory. Jason Bass trying to chase it down here and protect the puck at the same time, and he does just that. Now what's he going to do with it? Bass. There's a nice pass into the deep slot, and a shot, save, and a big rebound there, but Calgary's on it. Shattuck plays it back. Shattuck and Bubnik on the ice right now. Bubnik almost lost it. Now they're going to start back. Shattuck's on his left. Bubnik in over the line. Shot is stopped by Bosch. And as you look at Shattuck and Bubnik come in, game 7's for them. This is a big bonus.
I love what Bass does by in the offensive zone and getting a scoring opportunity, but Bubnik answers well going the other way. Bubnik down that right wing, and you know they've got Cowan playing with Bubnik and Shattuck, and you talk about guys like Bubnik, like Shattuck, that really have only had playoff experience with the Kamloops Blazers, and you reference how many games that team has lost in the playoffs. You got to figure all of a sudden these two guys are in a game 7. I mean, talk about learning how to swim. All of a sudden, bang, you're thrown in the deep end and say go.
And well, not only in the deep end, now they're back in the deep end because Shattuck just got a penalty, and it's a 4-on-3. Just trying to pick up the announcement here.
Roughing.
It is roughing. Okay, so a big chance here for Moose Jaw. Let's see if they can tie it up. Stanton holding it. Still holding it. Doesn't take the shot as he plays it down low. Standing in front of the net is Bast. There's a pass over here. Now Bast can't get it because it went off the screen and out of play, but they get 4-on-3 here, Bill, for over a minute.
Tyler Shattuck in his last game took 3 charging penalties. You take a look at him, he is a physical presence. He's always going to stand his ground really, really well. He's one of the guys that I've said before acquired from the Kamloops Blazers, and Shattuck with 6 assists and a +5.
Stanton takes a shot, and that's turned aside. Comes back here to Frazee. Frazee to Stanton, and one-timer, and that's tipped off the target. Jones, I think, got his stick on it. Stanton again. Really quarterbacking here. Jason Bass now. Back to Stanton. Back to Bass. Scores! It's tied 1-1 as Jason Bass, a 33-goal man in the regular season, gets his 7th of this series in game 7 to tie it 1-1.
We talked about that right off the top, Dan. He had to be a factor. All 4 of his goals of 7 have come on the road. What they do 4-on-3 is they get Jones going side to side. This is important. You go from one side, you go back to the other side. You see how slow Jones is to get over? When you've got a 4-on-3 situation and you've got the defense with 3 penalty killers, you've got to get the goaltender moving side to side. Terrific job by the Warriors. Jones was not able to get over there. There was a lot of net to put that puck into.
Moose Jaw goal. Powerful goal is 7th. Scored by number 20, Jason Bast. Assist to number 4, Ryan Stanton. And to number 16, Thomas Frazee. Time of the goal, 10 minutes, 17 seconds.
So the first power play is a costly one as Shattuck takes an undisciplined penalty 200 feet from his own goal. Even more undisciplined when you count the fact that it's going to turn into a 4-on-3. Here's Broda's shot. That's knocked down. I mean, players have just got to think about the situation on the ice as that puck is tipped over top the net. Tough enough to take a penalty when it's 5-on-5, but when it's 4-on-4, you know it's going to be dangerous. Kozin, meantime, hits the goalpost. Kozin right in the slot, had a golden opportunity to give Calgary their lead back, but he hit the post. So great action here as now Calgary sends the puck down the ice. Kozin found himself all alone in front, as he often does. And a turnover and a pass in front, and he almost broke the 1-1 tie. Warriors pass in front, intercepted by Sylvester. Giving chase is Foucault. Foucault against McElrath. McElrath took the jolt. Held in by the Hitmen and deflected by Sylvester just wide of the net. Asham trying to pinch to hold the puck in. He could not. Chasing it is Wilson. Calgary boy Ben Wilson starts out on this side, and then he's forced back. 8 minutes to go here in the first period. Moose Jaw has outshot Calgary 7-5. In the series starting tonight, Calgary's outshot Moose Jaw 230 to 179. Cowan in over the line. Here's a pass to Bubnik. Rebound, scores! Cowan! Calgary restores their lead as Dale Cowan scores his 3rd of this series.
Dale Cowan will get that puck to Bubnik. Bubnik gets the shot on goal. This is Cowan. This is Bubnik. Here's the shot. Nice save by the goaltender. But you know Del Cowan's going to jump right in after that rebound. You've got to box him out. You can't let the guy that makes the pass get to the front like that. There has to be access denied. Watch 24. He comes in late, jams that puck past the goaltender, restores a 2-1 Calgary lead.
Time of the scoring play is 12-11. And here's the play.
First of the playoffs, scored by number 14, Jimmy Bubnik. Assistant number 24, Del Cowan. And the number 29, Tyler Shattuck. Time of the goal, 12 minutes, 11 seconds.
Well, we had that in the reverse here. As the puck is chopped down the ice by the Hitmen, we'll sort out the scoring play. As Stanton goes back to get it, he's hit hard. And the fans very noisy here in the Saddle Dome, responding to every hit. There's a pass for Bast, and now it's sent in by Edwards. Calgary 2, Moose Jaw 1 with 7 minutes to go in the first period of Game 7. Foucault tips the puck in. Bosch plays it off the glass, not out. Long shot, deflected, and it just went wide of the target. Another chance from the circle. That's blocked. Moose Jaw's Nathan McMaster will skate out with it. Has Gale with him. Flips it in with Stone gloving it down. Moose Jaw still able to keep the puck in, at least for the moment. Skating out for Calgary was Tyler Fiddler, getting it in deep and allowed his team to make the line change. You can feel the intensity of a Game 7 for sure here in Calgary tonight. Cozen back to collect the puck. Pass nicely accepted, and here's Joel Broda going in. Broda going wide, staying with him in Stanton, and there'll be a penalty on Stanton as Broda was hit into the corner, and we'll sort that out when we come back. 6:06 to go in the first. Calgary 2, Moose Jaw 1. Game 7 continues right after this on Shaw.
The WHL, the leading supplier to the NHL for over 40 years. More WHL players are selected each year in the NHL entry draft than any other league in the world. The WHL, your game, your future.
From compacts to crossovers, the Mazda 3, engineered for handling, acceleration, response time, and safety, including Mazda's patented Triple H construction. Kelowna Motors for Mazda on Enterprise at Banks Road. Zoom, zoom.
Our first-class hotel just got even better. The Kelowna Ramada Hotel and Conference Center now features brand new rooms for your comfort. And you can still count on the same attentive customer service to ensure an unforgettable experience. The Ramada Hotel and Conference Center. Reserve your stay today.
All right, guys, you guys are primed up, yes? You guys ready to go?
Calgary Hitmen head coach Mike Williamson. Coach, how important was that response after Moose Jaw ties it on the power play?
Oh, it was good to go out there and obviously get that goal. We have to play a little more discipline, stay out of the box. It's something that's hurt us all series. So it was good to get that back. We just have to keep going.
How do you slow down the power play that seems to be rolling for Moose Jaw?
Well, our guys have done a good job on the kill all year. We just have to stick to the fundamentals. We're best when we're breaking plays up and blocking shots, and that's what we need to do.
Appreciate this.
Thanks.
Try to take a look at this goal, Dan. It's a good job by the Hitmen in taking pucks to the net. I mean, it's gone through at that point. You see Cowan in front. You see, you know, Bubnik was the first guy that took that puck to the net. He skates behind the net. Looks like maybe Stanton, his own defenseman, is a guy with a stick that shoves it right between the legs.
And now Stanton, and then Stanton follows that up by going into the penalty box as he hit Broda and gets 2 minutes for boarding at 13:54. And so Calgary gets their first power play. And you could hear Mike Williamson talk about not taking bad penalties, which is what we referenced before, but they've had the #1 penalty kill and power play through the league. Here's a backhand shot at the side of the net, and they're sure crashing that net, so much so that it comes off its pegs. And we'll get another face-off, but is Bosch going to get up okay? Bosch looks a little shaken up from this vantage point. Still slow to get up.
Shattuck looks shaked up too. I mean, there's been a lot of contact. There's been an awful lot of physical play. You see the last guy injured. Earlier, Broda took that big hit by Stanton in the corner. You saw Bubnik worse for wear there as well. And Bosch, one thing about the Hitmen power play, they do get pucks through. This is one of the keys that always has been for this team. And there's an awful lot of pushing, an awful lot of shoving. Actually, it's the last guy for the Hitmen that comes through is that Ian Schultz. Man, if it is, he's been a wrecking train. Here's Broda being taken hard to the corner. That's the original penalty on Ryan Stanton. That's what has set up this power play. And right after that, on the first whistle, the goaltender Bosch is the injured player.
And there's Ryan Stanton in the box, as Bill mentioned, possibly Stanton putting it in the net, which is why they credited the goal to Bubnik and not Cowan at 12-11. As you look at backup goaltender Brandon Glover, a 17-year-old from Victoria.
Yeah, he's only played 19 minutes this entire series. Saw a little bit of ice time in game 3 and 5. Not that point, I'm not sure. I don't know. A lot of traffic there. One of those guys certainly got Bosch, but he stays in the hockey game.
Calgary setting up on their first power play as Shattuck has the puck in the corner. They're in tight quarters. He and Kozin. Now Kozin trying to get a little room, throws it in front. Went off a skate. Kozin quickly chases it down over here and gets it back from Stone. Then a pass goes off a stick and out of play.
The Calgary Hitmen power play are 4 for 16 in Calgary. As a matter of fact, the last game here in game 5, the Hitmen power play went 3 for 5. So obviously it's a huge bread and butter. It's a power play, Dan, that operated during the season for Mike Williamson at 29%. It's down to 22% right now. It tells you a little bit of a pretty good penalty kill for the Moose Jaw Warriors.
Lots of time on this one, though. Kozin now down low. Here's Shattuck shot. Save Bosch. Another save Bosch. Comes back to Stone. Stone, as we all know, can shoot the puck hard. Let's see if he can get the one-timer. Here he's gonna let it go. They score! Shattuck! The Stone shot, always dangerous. Even more dangerous when somebody like Tyler Shattuck can tip it in. 3-1 Calgary.
How often have we seen a play started by Brandon Kozin simply getting it back to the blue line? Brandon Kozin is going to get that puck off the half wall, throw it back to Stone. Stone with the shot, and you know, it almost looks like he's purposely shooting that puck wide. It's a terrific deflection by Tyler Shattuck. And for Shattuck, Dan, that's his first goal of the playoffs. Yeah, a little bit of relief for Shattuck, you know, sure that he felt. He's got the 6 assists, like I said earlier, 30-goal man on the season. And he gives him a 2-goal lead.
Looks like Moose Jaw wants to take a timeout.
Well, Dan, they have Shattuck down for 1 on the score sheet. You know, let's be honest, they do change scoring plays after games. I mean, we're not always sure that, you know, what we get is official. If what we go by in what the stats we've been handed, it is Shattuck's second.
Here it is, the announcement.
Scored by number 29, Tyler Shattuck. Assistant number 28, Michael Stone. And the number 15, Brandon Kozin. Time of the goal, 14 minutes, 42 seconds.
So Kozin picking up his 10th point, which moves him into a scoring leading tie with Cunningham and Gallagher of Vancouver as we go down to Brendan Parker.
Guys, just monitoring the Calgary Hitmen bench right now between that timeout, and both Joel Broda and Misha Fisenko have not returned to the bench, so they're running a short crew up on the forwards. We're trying to monitor that situation, see if we can get something in the intermission and find out what the case is for those 2 players.
Thank you, Brendan. Hitmen back in control. Moose Jaws use their timeout, trying to make sure that they don't get down by any more than this after 1. The thing, if you're a Game 7 road team, you want to keep it within striking range, Bill.
Yeah, that's exactly. You got to keep thinking that, you know, the mountain's not that, you know, too big to climb. And, you know, all in all, you take a look at the shots on goal, they're 11-7 favoring the Hitmen. I thought the Warriors came out and, you know, have established a very good first probably 10 minutes, but you know, that power play is, you know, is what the Hitmen have thrived on all year. They've done a real good job on it. It's given them a 2-goal lead.
And here they come out of their own zone as they shoot the puck in. Schultz giving chase. Schultz throws it in front. and a save and another shot that was blocked, didn't reach the net. Another shot by Nyren, just missed by inches. Schultz was there at the side as well. All kinds of opportunities there for Calgary to add to their lead, but unable to do so. Sewer coming out of his own zone. Flipped in. Stone's got it now for Calgary. Long pass right on the stick of Fiddler. Fiddler in over the line. Another pass in front. Sylvester's shot is stopped by Bosch. All kinds of action here. And Bosch has to be real sharp because Calgary, as we know, Bill, they can swarm in a real hurry.
And one of the things that you got to be careful with a Calgary swarm is you don't let guys get behind you as a defense. And as you see on this replay, look up, there's a white shirt right in behind. Very, very good position in that spot by Ian Schultz. And again, the Hitmen come back with more pressure. They're getting pucks to the net. They're getting people there. It right now is a very serious job by the Moose Jaw Warriors to box out guys to keep them away from Bosch, their goaltender. You cannot deny or cannot allow the Hitmen to find those spots because they're simply, Dan, really, I'm impressed with the way they're overpowering the Warrior defense in front of the net.
Asham going down low, has the puck taken off his stick. 4 minutes to go here in the first period. Calgary keeping the puck in again with Asham throwing it around the back of the net. Stanton first to it over there. Around this near side, the forecheck continues by Calgary, and so does the zone time. Stanton on the far side, lined up by Beach. Now it's McElrath on this side. Gets it back again by way of the referee. Off the glass, out to the neutral zone. Asham trying to send it in deep. Cannot. McElrath trying to bring it in over the blue line. McElrath off the stick. Here's Cody Smuck. Smuck, nice move. Smuck holding the puck still. Asham, been out there a long time, Asham. Trying to keep him at bay. As the Warriors go to a little cycle, Sewer from the blue line. Takes a shot that goes wide of the net. The rebound is in front. And Calgary able to skate out as Wilson gets it to Cowan. Cowan to Fiddler. Cowan giving chase. Sorry, that was Shattuck who gave it back to Fiddler. Shattuck gets it now in this corner. Shattuck throws it in front. The puck is there for Bubnik, but he can't get his stick on it. Sewer gets it. Sewer gets it up there for Edwards. In over the line, here's Bast. Can't keep control of the puck. Howden swats at it. Here's a chance in the slot. Frazee moving in. Backhand pass in front. Warriors can't connect on the pass. Puck on the far corner and now in front of the net, but only for a moment as Stebner swats it down the ice. Icing called on Calgary.
I think Thomas Frazee's been very, very good this series. He's got 9 points, but Coach Dave Hunchak's very, very blunt when he talks about Frazee. He says he's still got another level he can get it to. He's got to move his feet, and this is a quote from Hunchak, the coach. When he's not physical and not moving his feet, he's a bad player, plain and simple. And, you know, when you look at a guy 6'4" doing what he's been doing, you wonder, he's got to be there every game.
Long pass misses everybody again, and it's once more icing called on Calgary. 3. Let's look at some of the other action around, if you will, how the Eastern Conference playoffs have gone here. And we congratulate Brandon, Saskatoon, Medicine Hat. They're all watching with great interest tonight. If Calgary wins this game, Calgary will play Medicine Hat, and Saskatoon will play Brandon. If Moose Jaw wins, it's Moose Jaw and Brandon, Saskatoon versus Medicine Hat.
2:14 left in this first period, trailing by 2. You'd love to see the Warriors get a big lift, get within 1 if they could do that in the next 2 minutes. Totally different tone in that dressing room.
And here's an opportunity down low for them to try to make something happen as it comes now back out to the blue line area. Handled here now by Smith. Smith to Cox. Cox throws it at the net and it just went wide. Not a bad idea. Just throw it at the net. Connor Cox had a pretty good series from what we're told. He's got 1 goal in this series. He's just a 17-year-old with a good future. Cowan backhands it out to the neutral zone, and here's Cox again, shooting right back in. Goes around the horn on the far side. McKenzie leaves it for Kozin. Kozin became the scoring champion. We showed you on Shaw with 4 points in the final regular season game against Red Deer to surpass the great Jordan Everly for the WHL scoring crown. They were all assists that day. for Kozin. McElrath puts the puck back behind the net. Shoved down and around the boards hard. Will not be icing, so there's a race for it as Kozin going in after the puck. He was met there by Edwards. Foucault has it. Now Kozin. Now Nyren. Shot wide off the backboards. Hitmen gobble it up once more. Foucault shot, rebound. Oh, and Schultz put it wide. He got a high stick in the face at the same time. And so Calgary will have a last-minute power play, but they almost made it 4-1.
Foucault was right in front of the net, Dan. It looked like he was waiting for a puck to come off that back wall. And if it had, it would have been right on his stick. McElrath gets a hooking call. Again, a lot of pressure inside the zone. Schultz in front, inside position. You know, it's amazing. You just cannot do that. You see how he gets the high stick from McElrath. But that's been a real problem for the Moose Jaw Warriors, is the job that Ian Schultz has done in getting in those spots.
So second power play for Calgary. As they work on these near side boards, lots of good work being done by the two teams. And finally, here's Kozin. Kozin passes in front, but getting his stick on it was Seward before it got all the way through to Nyren. That's who Kozin was trying to spot. 15 seconds to go in the period. Stone races to center, in over the line, still going. Stone almost went all the way, and Foucault couldn't come up with the puck either. Another check by Schultz. McKenzie holds it in with 3 seconds to go in the period. And as Moose Jaw gets it out, the horn will sound. And the Calgary Hitmen here in Game 7 have a big first period. 3 goals, 14 shots. They lead 3-1 in a series they trailed 3-1. Let's go back to Dan Elliott.
All right, thank you very much, Dan. Coming up in the first intermission, Game 6 here, Dale Cowan of the Hitmen will give us his thoughts through 20 minutes of play. He's got assists in that first period. Cam Moon is here to go inside the WHL, plus a feature on NHL prospect and Warrior star Quentin Howden. It's the Hitmen leading the Warriors 3-1 in Game 7 after 20 minutes of play. You're watching the WHL on Shaw.
A first-class hotel just got even better. The Kelowna Ramada Hotel and Conference Center now features brand new rooms for your comfort. And you can still count on the same attentive customer service to ensure an unforgettable experience. The Ramada Hotel and Conference Center. Reserve your stay today.
To help the future of sport in Western Canada, Husky has been a long-standing supporter of the WHL's education program. Sponsorships to scholarships, Husky is committed to Canada's youth on the ice and in the classroom. Naturally, it's Husky.
Post Powertrain specializes in heavy-duty transmissions and differentials for the logging, mining, transportation, and trucking industries. They also offer a complete driveline facility for 4x4s and pickup trucks. Post Powertrain, drivelines, transmissions, differentials, and custom truck design.
Whether you're planning a big residential move or a small one, Williams Moving and Storage can help. At Williams Moving and Storage, we can provide you with personalized service to make your move as stress-free as possible. Online estimates at williamsmoving.com.
PostNet Print and Business Center, offering graphics, printing, signs, banners, and courier solutions by Canada's top 3 shippers, FedEx, Canada Post, and Purolator. PostNet, Kelowna's exclusive FedEx shipping center. The gutter filter system from Sun Valley Window Cleaners. It seals out all types of debris, including leaves, pine needles, and seed pods. Invisible from the ground and no maintenance required. Water pours through it while everything else blows over the top. For more information, go to sunvalleywindowcleaners.com.
Moving and Storage. Proud to be part of your community. Online at williamsmoving.com. With Williams, your home.
The Calgary Hitmen lead 3-1 through 1 period of play against the Moose Jaw Warriors. I'm joined by Del Cowan, forward with the Hitmen. Del, tell me about that first period. Did you like the flow of a Game 7?
Yeah, I think we had a pretty good first period. We had a great start by Cody Sylvester, and then kind of took a bad penalty, but other than that penalty, I think we played pretty good.
When you dream up a Game 7, is that the intensity level you thought of?
I think it'll pick up a bit more than that, but yeah, for sure.
Tell me about your play in this series so far. The big 4 points in game number 6. How has your confidence level grown?
You know, I've had great line mates and Bubnik and Cody Sylvester and lately Tyler Shattuck. So those guys, they get me the puck in good areas. And I just fire them on net, and I got a few lucky goals. So they deserve a lot of the credit.
Have you felt this team loosen up as the series has gone on?
Yeah. Well, I think when our backs were against the wall, we just we really started to play better and play for each other and just stick to the game plan a lot more.
Appreciate this and good luck in the final two.
All right, thanks, man.
Forward Del Cowan, he's got 8 points in the series after that assist in period number 1. And let's go over to Dan Elliott.
All right, thank you very much, Brendan, here with the casual Cam Moon. What's going on?
I'm hanging out watching a game.
You're on the road in the WHL, Medicine Hat last night, here at Calgary tonight.
Yeah, I'm getting the Alberta tour.
Absolutely. Well, let's just start off your thoughts in that first 20 minutes, a period really dominated by the Hitmen.
It really was. Calgary Hitmen generated quite a bit offensively, not just on the power play. And I thought the Hitmen did a great job in their own end. The only time they gave up some quality chances, I thought, was on that power play that the Warriors did score. Great shot by Jason Bast. But to me, it looks like the Hitmen are riding that wave of momentum that they had going into Game 6 and are starting to play the way they had to close out the regular season. And it might just be a little bit too much for a gutsy Moose Jaw team that has pushed this series longer than anybody would have expected. Hey, they had a 3-1 lead, and that's impressive in its own right. And sure, there's 40 minutes left. I mean, there's a ton of hockey. I shouldn't write them off, but I have seen this Calgary team quite a bit this year, and I know how good they are.
Yeah, they get going, and it's watch out. Maybe just start off with everybody talked about that Bosch. He had to be great tonight. He probably had to be a star in this game. Did you like that first goal he gave up?
First one was a little tough. Yeah. It goes short side from about the dot, which isn't good.
No, it's a tough angle.
But he did have the D-man coming right in front of the shot at the time. And he's figuring out, from here, if I butterfly, there really isn't a whole lot left, except for a little bit in the short side, which he picked it. So it was a pretty good shot, but you don't like seeing a goal from the dot.
You're seeing a lot of the big guys for Calgary, that line with Bubnik, Shattuck, and Cowan, and then Schultz, Broda controlling it down low. In terms of Moose Jaw's defense, Stan took that penalty, that boarding penalty. You could see they are trying to be physical. It's just not enough right now.
That's right, and they're keeping Stanton and McElrath out on the ice every time. They're out there a lot, and certainly when Broda and Kozin are on the ice, those guys are on the ice. I mean, they have to be, but Calgary Hitmen have got so many big, strong forwards that can cycle the puck in the opposition zone, and it's hard to get them off the puck. Even guys as big as Stanton and McElrath, who are two of the more physical defensemen in the league.
Is huge.
He's a monster. He's not afraid to lay the body too.
Well, and his wingspan seems to go forever.
It's unbelievable. What a prospect. What a great NHL prospect. There's a lot of NHL scouts here tonight, and they are all over watching Dylan McElrath.
Tough period there for Ryan Stanton. Looks like he scores that goal in his own net. Then he takes the boarding penalty that leads to a power play goal. Just talk about the Warriors. I mean, what do you think's going through Dave Hunchak's mind here in the first intermission as he's talking to his team?
Well, I think the best thing for them was they got the intermission, because it looked like Calgary was really coming on. Yeah. They needed the break, and now he's got to settle the troops down and know that the next goal is awfully important, because if they score it, it puts some tremendous pressure on the Calgary Hitmen. They've got a big crowd here tonight. They're expected to win this series. I mean, Moose Jaw can sneak in if they can get that next one. So I think he's telling his guys to settle down, relax. Let's just worry about getting the next goal, and let's keep them off the puck inside our own end.
Only 7 guys have scored for Moose Jaw during this series. So if the Warriors are going to mount a comeback here, it's going to have to be those high-end guys.
Well, yeah, you're going to look to Jason Bast, and I know Quentin Howden was out before playoffs, but I mean, he's a guy, and Thomas Frazee. I mean, those are the players that offensively are going to get it done for this club, and they're going to have to. And if they can get a few more power plays, I mean, they look pretty good on that power play. If they get a few more of those, it's going to give them an opportunity. They got to stay out of the box. The Calgary Hitmen had the best power play in the regular season in the Western League, and it wasn't by accident. It's because they have some tremendous talent on this team. But I mean, they get the next goal. I mean, you get the intermission, you get the next goal, and you're right back in it. Even though especially the last half of that period, Calgary was outplaying the Warriors.
Well, yeah, and you know, the situation there, you look at Brandon Kozin, guy hits a crossbar, he's got a point-blank shot. I mean, if you can keep him off the board, your odds are going to get a little bit better.
Yeah, that helps. I mean, whoa, what a shifty player. You just can't hit the guy. I mean,
well, even when you do, he seems it just rubs off and it's no big deal.
Yeah, he's so quick and so good on the puck.
We're getting the signal.
Oh, yeah.
It means wrap up.
It just goes so quick.
No.
What happened?
Well, stop. You're done. That's it. That's all you got. All right, we got to take a quick break. Lots more to come from here in Calgary. It's the Hitmen leading the Warriors 3-1 after 20 minutes of play here in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals.
Discovery Honda. New and used cars and financing available. Discovery Honda on the Island Highway just north of Duncan.
We're not saying don't pick up your children, just do it correctly. As little as 20 minutes of activity a day is all it takes to keep your back flexible and strong, allowing you to safely lift even your most precious cargo.
If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, you can be overwhelmed by the complex legal system. Call Rella and Polini, your community-minded law firm.
Truck Accessories does trucks, cars, SUVs, and vans. Chrome step bars, ladder racks, and box covers are just a small portion of their inventory. See us at 430A 40th Ave Northeast, just off Edmonton Trail, or check our website for more information at truckaccessories.ca.
Petland features a selection of tropical fish, reptiles, small animals, puppies, and kittens, as well as products and services to help take care of your pets. Petland Kamloops, 905 Notre Dame Drive.
TBC Indoor Kart Racing. www.tbcir.ca.
Waste Management is using the resources at our disposal to create enough green energy to power over 1 million homes. From everyday collection to environmental protection. Think green. Think Waste Management.
With over 80 years of experience, Williams Moving and Storage can plan and coordinate any office from start to finish, so you can focus on getting back to business. Online estimates at williamsmoving.com.
3-1 the score for the Calgary Hitmen here in Game 7 after the first period of play. Cody Sylvester, Jimmy Bubnick, Tyler Shattuck scoring for the Hitmen. It was Jason Bass countering for the Moose Jaw Warriors. Well, the Warriors are definitely happy to have Quentin Howden back in their lineup. As we mentioned throughout the program tonight, he missed the remainder of the little portion of the remainder of the regular season, the first 5 games of this series with a broken collarbone. He was the team's leading scorer during the regular season. He's a former first overall Bantam pick by the Warriors and possibly could be a first-round pick in this year's NHL draft. And you know what? He is the focus of tonight's Husky Mohawk player profile.
Hi, my name is Quentin Howden, forward of the Moose Jaw Warriors. I'm 6'3", 185 pounds. I grew up in Oakbank, Manitoba, and I played minor hockey for the Springfield Ice Hawks.
Well, Quentin's a two-way forward is what he is. I mean, he's got the ability to put the puck in the net. Defensively, he's learned the game very well, and I think what's going to bode well for him for this year's draft is his ability to be versatile. He can play the middle, he can play the wall. He plays in all situations for our team, both power play and penalty kill, so he's a real well-rounded player for our team.
My favorite player is Sidney Crosby because he is a great leader and plays the game very smart.
There's not too many 17-year-olds in our league that skate as well as he does, that are as big as he is. Secondly, he's got a tremendous wrist shot, a quick snap shot, shoots the puck very hard, has a heavy shot, and probably the third thing which he has to continue to work on is his physical play. When he decides to get physical, he's a dominant guy. It just needs to be more consistent.
My biggest influence in hockey has been my dad because he's always been there for me and helped me along the way.
He's a very fun-loving kid. He's a nice young man to talk to. You know, he comes from a great family. You know, he keeps his head below the clouds. He's a very grounded individual. He likes to have some fun. You know, he's always smiling. He's always laughing. He's always got something to tell you. And he's just a nice young man, a very positive young man to be around.
My pregame superstition is doing everything the same before every game and dressing right to left. I chose the Western Hockey League because it's the quickest path to the NHL and good alternative careers.
I dress left to right, doesn't help my game. All right, let's take a look at the scores. Game 7 between Everett and Kelowna. That series, of course, tied at 3 games apiece. The home team has won every game in that series. That is not a score between Spokane and Portland. That game has not started yet. Of course, it's the Winterhawks leading that series 3-2. The opposite in that series, the road team has won every single game. Remember, if you want to keep up to date on your favorite team, players, or just check out the live scoring, go to the league website at whl.ca.
Williams Moving and Storage WHL Central is brought to you by Williams Moving and Storage. Proud to be part of your community. Online at williamsmoving.com. With Williams, your home.
Well, an impressive first period from the hometown Calgary Hitmen. To recap that first 20 minutes, we'll rejoin Dan Russell, Bill Williams. Guys?
How can we do that when I'm still trying to figure out how you dress left to right? I'm not even sure how you do that. Maybe try that one tomorrow. What did you think of the period, Bill?
I think it was a good start by the Hitmen. I think physically they were involved. Obviously, they opened the scoring. They let the Warriors tie it, and then they came back with 2 goals to take that 3-1 lead.
Yes, here's the highlights of the first period.
Cody Beach is going to feed it to Cody Sylvester. That shot beats Bosch. Watch on the low look. If you're going to drop to the butterfly, watch how slow Bosch is getting the glove up. That puck is in the net, and his glove is still at his side. I think that's what the guys were talking about in between periods. You know, this is a 4-on-3. Jason Bass gets that puck cross east-west, back and forth. You try the goaltender to give you some net. Well, take a look at Martin Jones, how much net is available for that shot by Jason Bass. That tied the game at 1. You're going to see 3 guys crashing the net now by the Calgary Hitmen. Watch it. This is what they did all period. There's 1, there's 2, there's a third one, and guess who puts it in the net? Ryan Stanton, the defenseman for the Moose Jaw Warriors. Watch him. There he's got it. Shoves it, tries to get it right back at the goaltender. So you got 3 guys crashing and a help from the defenseman. That made it 2-1. Tyler Shattuck, really nice deflection at the side of the net. Boy, that's tough to cover when you got Stone firing it and you got Colson setting it up and you got Shattuck at the side deflecting it. Well, like I said, that's a big assignment to make sure that that's going to stay out of the net.
Yeah, some excellent highlights there, and you feel bad for Stanton. He was just trying to get his goalie to cover up. So it's 3-1, and the next big part of this game is early next period. Fresh ice. Calgary will start with 1:14 on the man advantage. Stand by. Second period action coming up from the Saddle Dome on Shaw.
Shaw TV has been sponsored in part by the Genesis at Crowfoot Hyundai. Crowfoot Hyundai Sales and Servicing, located in the Crowfoot Center Northwest.
PostNet Print and Business Center, offering graphics, printing, signs, banners, and courier solutions by Canada's top 3 shippers, FedEx, Canada Post, and Purolator. PostNet, Kelowna's exclusive FedEx shipping center.
Waste management is using the resources at our disposal to create enough green energy to power over 1 million homes. From everyday collection to environmental protection. Think green. Think waste management.
If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, you can be overwhelmed by the complex legal system. Call Rella and Polini, your community-minded law firm.
Northland Dodge Chrysler Jeep, one of Canada's largest auto dealers, offers a huge selection of new and used vehicles. Northland has every make and model as well as financing for any vehicle purchase. Northland Dodge Chrysler Jeep on 20th Avenue in Prince George. Check out northlanddodge.ca.
Post Powertrain specializes in heavy-duty transmissions and differentials for the logging, mining, transportation, and trucking industries. They also offer a complete driveline facility for 4x4s and pickup trucks. Post Powertrain, drivelines, transmissions, differentials, and custom truck design.
The Western Hockey League would like to take this time to recognize its prestige partners. Cal Tire, a proud supporter of amateur athletes throughout Western Canada. Cal Tire, true service. And your local Husky and Mohawk retailer, home of Mother Nature's fuel. Naturally, it's Husky.
Just before we drop the puck on the second period, we should update you on the Calgary Hitmen injury situation. Both Misha Fisenko and Joel Broda left at one point during that first period. Both players did come back to the Hitmen bench. At the end of the first, Fisenko looked like stitches on the upper lip, while Broda came back just at the end. He was looking for the call to get the nod to go on the power play there, and he is on the ice right now, so good sign for the Calgary Hitmen. Both players have returned.
Okay, Brendan. Moose Jaw Warriors need to rally here. They're looking to advance to round 2 for the first time since 2006. That was the year they went all the way to the final before losing to Vancouver. Calgary looking to advance to round 2 for the 6th consecutive year. And there's Joel Broda on the ice to start this period, and they want him out there, Bill, with 1:14 and fresh ice. A sniper like that on the power play.
39 goals this year after 53 last year. He's got 3 in the playoffs. Boy, what a factor that young man has been as well. You know, you go back to Broda for a minute, you know, he's trying to get signed by Washington. He's a big guy, 6 foot, 203. And I think one of the keys for a guy his size is that, you know, he never plays small. You got to stay big, even though you're a goal scorer. I mean, you got good size.
And his eyes light up during power play time. He had 23 power play goals this year. There he is alongside Cody Smuck, as we see Chris Savage in conversation with Mike Williamson. Not entirely certain what they're talking about. I do know that on that goal that Stanton put into his own net, they're now saying it's an unassisted goal by Bubnik, the official scorer here in the Saddle Dome, coming over to our location to alert us of that scoring change. So here we go in the second period. Calgary in the white get the opening face-off, but Stone is forced back. Now he gets it to Broda. Broda now to Nyren. Nyren shoots the puck in. Schultz giving chase. Schultz against Stewart. Broda plays it around this side. Michael Stone. Stone to Kozin. Pass too high for Stone to handle. Hitman forced all the way back. 49 seconds to go in the man advantage. Stone back to collect the puck. He had 29 power play assists during the regular season. Shoots it in from center, but it's whistled down. And are they bringing that all the way back, or does that go off somebody over there?
Dan, this is what Ian Schultz does. This puck's going to be dumped in. Chad Sewer is going to want to lose that race. There's no way that he wants to get in there ahead of Schultz, because he's going to be taken hard to the boards. And look at the puck control that established. You know, let's be honest, there's a lot of guys that are going to back away just a half a second when Ian Schultz is coming at you.
That was an icing as Stone had not reached center. Stone, the only Hitman player to play for Calgary in Game 7. He was in that game back in 07 at Kootenay. Nyren, now Kozin. Nyren brings it in over the line. Kozin back nicely to McKenzie. Shot off the goalpost. You hear that ring all the way up here. McKenzie hits the post. Kozin has it roll off his stick. He hustles to try to dive and maintain possession, could not, and that's probably going to do it for the Calgary power play, and that's a big kill there for Moose Jaw. They had to get through the first minute and a half of this period, and now they can start checking other items off their to-do list.
Obviously one to score that next goal.
There's Bosch making the save off Bubnik.
Matt McKenzie leads the Hitman defense in scoring. This is how close he came to getting his second goal. We'll let you listen. It's on a power play. Wonderful sound when you're the goaltender, isn't it? It's like music.
Like the doorbell ringing.
It's almost like it hits an F sharp or something, or what do I know about music?
Not a whole lot.
Obviously.
I was in the car with you last night. I can attest to that. Minute 23 gone here in the second period.
I'm the only guy that sings that knows he cannot hit a note. I mean, and I try my hardest. I can't do it.
The problem is you keep trying. Bast. Long pass over on the far side. Shot in there by Frazee. Comes around this near side. McFall will dump it back at the net, or try to. It hit a stick before it got there, but the Warriors maintain possession. Trying to make something happen here. There's Howden. Hard pass in front of the net. Bast collects it. Here's some pressure now. McFall shot. Saving a rebound. Howden hunts that rebound down, but he looked up before he had clear possession, and you see the result. Calgary able to send it back the other way. Oh, it comes off the backboards. Almost went to Shattuck as Bosch nearly got crossed up on that innocent looking dump in. Puck shot back in once more. Calgary's outshot the Warriors 15-9. Calgary was only outshot 17 times out of 72 games all year. So it's a familiar sight to see Calgary with an edge on the shot clock. Right through center is Fiddler. As he hits the line, he gets it to Foucault. A shot, that's knocked down. Foucault gets it back again. Fiddler in the corner, takes it out of his skates, throws it in front of the net, comes back to Nyren. Shot well wide on purpose, try to get it off the backboards. Instead, they have to fish it off the back of the net. And they do just that. Here come the Moose Jaw Warriors. There's 3 of them through center, but it looks like 3 Hitmen as well as that puck sails wide of the net. And it comes out here at center, where Schultz is hit by Stanton, but not before he got it to Kozin. Kozin trying to duck underneath another check. He did that, but Moose Jaw able to get it thanks to Dylan McElrath on the back check. Stanton moving up. In over the line, here's Rowinski, still without a point in this series. And he really hasn't had a chance in this game either. Former Calgary Hitman, Rowinski, played 30 playoff games with Calgary. Stanton. He didn't play a lot in many of those games because he was younger.
Dan, there's some talk that he might be hurt a little bit, not sure.
Chance and a shot taken by Paradis. That was knocked down. Paradis just tries to get his own rebound. There's Stanton throwing a check. Puck squirts free. Long shot again. That's blocked. Another chance. Here's Stanton moving in. Shot saved by Jones, and a good one with the right pad. Moose Jaw maintains possession. Dylan Hood forcing it to the side of the net. Wrap around attempt there by Smuck. And Jones says no. Smuck gets it back again. Back to the line. Stanton shot. That went off Stone and it almost went off him in the net. Stone is hurt a little bit as he's shaken up with the right arm. He stopped the shot. And now he talks to the referee and somehow the whistle blows too. Stone is hurt. He blocked it, but he had the presence of mind to also move the puck behind the net before it could get in his own net.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain. Ryan Stanton earlier had moved in, did a great job in creating some pressure, or at least supporting the pressure, supporting the forecheck. There you see the puck cleared behind the net, and finally out. We'll see if we can pick up an injury on Stone. A lot of traffic in front. Stone, yeah, he's just down. Looks like he pushes the puck with his, with his hand. I didn't see anything beyond that, but
that shot hit him right in the hand, Bill.
Oh, that on the shot where he lost the stick.
Yeah. And then you got a timeout down there.
Doesn't look like Mike Williams in his call.
Calgary calling a timeout. So both teams, unusual here in Game 7 especially, have already used their timeout, and we're not 5 minutes into the second period.
It's been physical. There's no doubt. We talked about, the guys that are going to have to play physical. Well, they certainly haven't let you down. And, when you see this kind of action, you know it's got Game 7 written all over it. You see Houghton there, the hit didn't affect him whatsoever. That hit by McMaster led to a shot on goal. This is the one Broda got hurt on. Good to report that he's back. And, you try to clear guys in front of the net. As I've said many, many times, you don't have to play a punishing game in front anymore. I don't think the rules allow you, but you certainly have to play a very, very difficult game as a defenseman in front of your own net.
Calgary leads 3-1, but they've had 3 players go down. Stone the latest, Broda and Fisenko earlier. And Schultz apparently just went to the room as well. So bodies are flying, as Bill just showed you why. It's so physical. There's a shot that's knocked down by Shattuck, and we got arm in the air. Calgary touches the puck. Looks like they're going to be short-handed. Are we going down to Brendan? Yes, come on in, Brendan.
Well, guys, it's actually a 4 number, not a 3 number for the Calgary Hitmen. Michael Stone went off, as you saw, but right after that, actually earlier in the sequence, Ian Schultz blocked a shot on his left knee, it looked like, and he went off. That was the reason for the timeout. They wanted to get Schultz off the ice. You can take a player off the ice once the timeout's called. He went into the tunnel. He has come back out just now. Stone, no sign of him yet.
Del Cowan in the box for the Hitmen. This is a good opportunity for the Moose Jaw Warriors. And Dan, I think this sequence on the power play follows a couple good shifts by the Warriors in that offensive zone. This power play may work for them.
9 for 27 in the series. There's a cross-ice pass. Another one! Oh, and it just missed Houghton on the far side. That was pretty. Just not finished off. Frazee tried to find Houghton on the near post. There's Houghton's hard pass. And that's off the Hitman. Does it get out? No. Good job by the Warriors. Frazee now gets the puck to Sewer. Here's Stanton. Stanton. Frazee. Stanton has to take it on his backhand. He moves in, he passes hard, and it's just too hard to handle. And meantime, a break the other way, potential breakaway. Fiddler right in on goal. Stopped by Bosch, a big short-handed breakaway save off Tyler Fiddler by Jeff Bosch. Chucked that one up. Here's Bast. Centering pass. Howden holding it. Shot. That's blocked. Check that. That was Stanton who moved in. There's Howden with the puck. He lost it, and the Hitmen send it down the ice. How exciting is this?
Dan, it's part of that reason for that breakaway is that the Warriors are trying to create an extra pressure inside the Hitman zone. They had a defenseman right in front of the net. They've run a defenseman in close.
Rowinski goes in. Centering pass into the skates. Not cleanly handled there by Hood. Now it goes back to Rowinski. Head up. He dishes it off. 39 seconds to go in the penalty. Rowinski. Now to Cox. Cross ice it goes. As Cox gets it back, they line up for the one-timer, they don't get it. Hood now to Cox, shot. Oh, and a good save by Jones. That might have been tipped in front of the net by Smith. Into that corner, Rowinski trying to maintain possession. Bodies fly. Calgary gets it to the line, but not out. Not the first time, but the second time it does come out. 12 seconds to go in the power play. Lots of pressure here by Moose Jaw, and they're not done yet. Hood, top of the slot, gets it back again, and a quick shot. Sharp angle. That puck did not come out. Cox holds it in. The fans thought it did. Moose Jaw playing on. Chance at the side. Hosenek trying to throw it in front. Penalty over. Hood. Nice move by Hood. Shot off the head. It goes right off the head of Martin Jones. He shakes it off. Pressure at both ends. That breakaway save. And there's Hood throwing it in front. Backhand opportunity. They don't get the shot away. Moving in there with Smith. He just couldn't get that puck on the forehand. Broda works hard to dig that puck free. Here comes Calgary. And it's Cowan with Shattuck in over the blue line. Cowan down to Shattuck. Tried to throw it in front, and they couldn't get it by Smith. Here comes Moose Jaw. Still trailing 3-1. And here they keep going. Centering pass by Hood. Comes over here, but McFall couldn't handle it. McFall threw a hit as the puck comes out to the neutral zone. 7.5 gone here in the second period. This one is offside.
Boy, what a shift by the Moose Jaw Warriors. You sensed it. I felt it. That power play came into being after a couple of good shifts by the Moose Jaw Warriors. In front of the net, the reason for that breakaway. See number 5? He's a defenseman. He's been moved in. Chad Sewer went to the front of the net to create that extra pressure. Tyler Fiddler with the breakaway. Nice save by Bosch. Now you'll see a very, very good save on a tip. Right at the side of the net. What a toe save by the goaltender. And even after that, I think he took one off the head. Jones has been terrific in this sequence. Hey, it's all the Game 7's cranked up to be, boy.
That was a 30-goal score that went in on the breakaway, and Bosch said no. Most timely save of the game, to be sure. You know both teams want the next goal badly. Comes back to the line, a high shot, sails over top the net. McFall puts it down in that corner. The Hitmen are on it. Not for long, shot right back into their own zone. Nyren comes out on the far side as he avoids the forecheck. Nyren to the red line, he flips it in. It bounces back at that Moose Jaw net. Collecting the puck is Kendall McFall, the 17-year-old. Couldn't move the puck. Here's a chance. Another opportunity for Calgary. It's Broda putting it just wide of the net. And Schultz has a chance. And Broda, oh, it's cleared off the goal line. Wow, Dylan McElrath saved a near goal. A sure goal he saved. Chalked that one up. Here comes Moose Jaw going back the other way. I can't believe what I just saw. Did my eyes deceive me?
Puck was cleared, what, right off the line?
McElrath, it might have been in the air and he cleared it off the line. We're way up here, but boy, it looked like that was a for sure goal for Calgary. Frazee shoots the puck in. Over on the far side, there's Bass putting it to the corner, but Calgary's on it as we hit the 9-minute mark of the second period. Wilson chops it around this near side. Stanton on the pinch. Now Schultz for Calgary. Rink wide to Wilson. In full flight, Wilson shoots. Bosch save, rebound, and Kozin couldn't get his stick on it. He gets his stick on it now. Kozin takes a shot, that hit a leg. Kozin trying to get it, so is Bubnik. Sewers got it. And going in to throw a check there was Cowan, but not before Moose Jaw could move it out. Look at those hits. Oh my, what a game 7 we're having here. It's 3-1 Calgary as we near the halfway point of the second period. I just can't wait for a whistle. I want to see that replay. Boy, Bosch has been good, and he's been a little lucky. Or he's got good help. A little bit of both. Behind the net it goes. Cox. Warriors pinned in deep. Cox will try the other way. Connor Cox, the backhand pass up there for Spencer Edwards. He got it out to center. Cody Smuck, who had 9 playoff games with the Chilliwack Bruins, can't maintain possession, and they go offside. And as we go to break, we'll see how close Calgary came to making it 4-1. It's game 7 in the WHL playoffs on Shaw.
Waste management landfills provide more than 17,000 acres of protected land for wildlife habitat. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green, think waste management.
The EricHolmes.com real estate team is a proud sponsor of community television. Visit us at EricHolmes.com.
For close to 3 decades, Husky has been proud to support Western Canadian athletes. Husky and Mohawk retailers, actively supporting the communities where we live and serve. Naturally, it's Husky.
The WHL, the leading supplier of hockey scholarships in Western Canada. Over 250 WHL grads are using WHL scholarships across Canada. The WHL, your game, your future.
Warriors head coach Dave Hunchak. Coach, is this the response you wanted in the second period from your team?
Well, it was a big penalty kill to start the period and a couple of good shifts to follow it up. So we just got to keep getting pucks deep, keep being physical, and hopefully we can get a break here and get ourselves back into it.
The momentum shift, the hitting, is this all you expected from a Game 7?
Absolutely. Our guys understand the magnitude of the game. We have no pressure on us. We're just laying it all in line right now.
Thanks for this.
Thank you.
Guys.
This is a play where 2 guys allow Broda to get in front of the net. And then this is a chance. Watch the save that Bosch makes. It makes it look simple on that till you see his pad drag keeps that puck from going in. And it's just a great job as you get a look here. Watch McFall and McElrath. 2 defensemen in front, how they box out the beach. He's not going to get to it, and they leave the save up to Bosch, and it is a miraculous one. It's also crossed. It's pulled off the line by McElrath after it did get through. Wow, Broda can't believe it, and it's now 4-1 Hitmen.
That's the one that had me shaking my head. The McElrath, I mean, he clears that off the line, just inches away from the 4-1 goal. Warriors trying to get it out, they do. Cody Smuck chopping at it. Sylvester's got it. Foucault trying to chase it down. Foucault's had an opportunity, could not get it, but the Hitmen have it back of the net. There's Cody Sylvester. Trying to work it in front for Fiddler. Foucault in front of the net. The puck's still there. And cleared away. Wow. There's been some close calls around that Moose Jaw goal. Meantime, going in hard is Edwards. He gets it back again. Tries to wrap around on this time. More the pass. There's Stanton's shot. That's knocked down. Stone's back out there. He took one with his hand. He just blocked that one with his foot. Yep. There'll be bruises tonight. This is not the only Game 7 going on. Kelowna leads Everett 1-0. In Game 7 at Everett, and Spokane in Portland. Well, why wouldn't the road team be leading 1-0 there? As the road team hasn't lost any of the previous 5. We'll keep you posted throughout the night. Stanton. Cross ice it goes. And then shot in there by Thomas Frazee. Another battle. And there's been a ton of them already. And there's a centering pass. It comes back to McElrath, and it hit something on the way. Band on it was Bass. He couldn't get that shot on net, and Stanton has it. Shots are 17-14 in favor of Calgary, as now you can make that 17-15. Jones makes that save.
I enjoyed that feature in between periods on Quentin Howden. It's a remarkable story that he's skating at all. When he was 6 years old, he fell off his bike. He snapped his femur like a toothpick. He was told that leg was so badly hurt he'd never be any kind of an athlete. Was in a chest-to-toe cast, and he plays with one leg shorter than the other. Credits his dad for putting him in hockey, and it wasn't. I think he said about 2 weeks when he's back to starting hockey, he was flying by guys, and it's amazing that scouting staff say he may be, the best skater, or certainly one of the best for any guy his size in the draft.
28 goals during the regular season. 8 of them were unassisted. 5 were game winners. 2 of them were shorthanded. He scored big goals for this team, and they're sure looking for more big goals from somebody here, down 3-1. Schultz brings it in over the line. Broda, sharp angle in front for Schultz, too high to handle. Battle behind the net. Looks like the Moose Jaw Warriors will win that, but they can't get it out. Schultz comes over on the far side to keep that puck in. Posen knocks it down. He'll play it to the line. Asham, long shot, sails wide of the net. Tracking it over here is Sylvester. He's getting a lot of ice time. As we mentioned, we saw Dustin last night, his brother with Kootenay. We see Cody tonight. We know their mom, Kim, watching in Kelowna and keeping an eye on the Rockets too, as Kim works in the front office. The Sylvester boy's mother works for the front office of the Kelowna Rockets. Long pass. Foucault trying to get it, couldn't. Every battle important at this stage as the puck is knocked down with a high stick.
The Moose Jaw Warriors, Dan, the last probably 10 minutes, 8 minutes after that power play that they had where they exerted all that pressure, I think have been almost perfect in their own zone defensively. You saw that puck that we showed you cleared off the line by McElrath, but other than that flurry, they've really kept the Hitmen to the outside. And boy, you talk about battle levels. Every single time there's a white-shirted Calgary Hitmen anywhere in Moose Jaw Warrior zone, there's a one-on-one battle set up, and I'll tell you what, the Warriors are winning their share of them.
Only 3 shots on goal for Calgary in this period. As that puck goes wide of the net, Stone takes out his man. Boy, you sure can feel how important the next goal is here. So obvious, but they're sure working for it, as in puck is swatted away. Bubnik got it out. Fiddler now to Foucault. Foucault makes a move. Now by himself, waiting for somebody to join him. It's up high, and that somebody was Misha Fisenko, who was hurt in the first period.
Foucault, everybody remembers the playoff he had last year. What a job he did with those 11 playoff goals. And, it was just too good not to be drafted. Minnesota took him. But when he went in the offensive zone on that last rush, he's been a good goal scorer for this hockey club. Again, you saw the nice job that the Warriors did and making sure he was just forced to the outside. They denied him any access, and really a weak shot to save by the goaltender Bosch, and that's why we're facing off to his right.
Jimmy Bubnik to take the face-off for Calgary. He did not win the draw as Moose Jaw wins a face-off in their own zone. Jason Bass won that face-off, but here's Bubnik coming off the corner boards, and a shot, and another one put wide by Shattuck. Puck knocked out to center ice. Stebner shooting the puck in. I'm sure there's a funny bounce too. I'm sure there's a lot of viewers in Kamloops wondering how Shattuck and Bubnik will do. They played those games as part of that long losing streak in Kamloops. Shattuck played 12 playoff games, had 3 points. Bubnik played 8, had 1 point. Nyren played 4, had 2 points. Calgary buzzing here. Here's a chance for Schultz in front of the net, and it's just poked wide. That was Broda right in front. Another shot from the line. Big rebound. Turned aside by Moose Jaw. Calgary putting on their best pressure of the period now. And as we say that, Moose Jaw gets the puck out to center. Let's see if they can get it back in. They do. Opportunity for Howden, but he couldn't get the shot away. Switched along this near side. Cozen's waiting for the pass up the wall here. It came, but he was hit at the same time. 5 minutes to go in the second. All the scoring was in the first. Paradis has the puck. Smuck in over the line. Shot on goal. Saved by Jones, and he holds on.
I like the way Ian Schultz comes off the wall in the offensive zone. Tries to get that puck to Broda. Seward does a good job of trying to cover Broda, but watch Schultz accelerate right to that spot there. You see the inside position. That's a nice job of coverage. You know how close Broda came to redirecting that puck into the net? That's because he's got those great hands. Even though Seward was all over him, he still had the presence of mind to keep his stick on the ice, because that's where most good things happen. You just can't teach a ton of that. You just terrific instinct he has as a goal scorer.
Calgary win the face-off in their own zone. Nice pass off the boards, but Pasenko gets crossed up with Foucault, and Lewinsky shoots the puck back into Calgary territory. Stone in the corner, battling against Hood. Calgary wins that battle, and that comes out to the neutral zone. Stanton in deep. Passes it off, and here comes McElrath. Here he goes, still McElrath. Taken off his stick by Stone. There's going to be a penalty. Is it goalie interference on McElrath? I think it might be. And Calgary roughing up as they want to do, but this might be a time not to, because Moose Jaw was definitely getting the first penalty.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to call this one. McElrath, the big kid that he is, terrific defenseman on this hockey club. He's got good speed. He goes 6'5". He's 215, and boy, you could just about check all the boxes you want on how good a hockey player he is. Look at his speed, good play to the outside. Now, he's not going to hold up. He's just got to continue in there, and, you know, Stone says, you know what are you talking about? He has to charge the goaltender. Stone actually disengages from him. You see Stone behind the net with his arms up saying, I didn't drive him in my goaltender, and he did get the right call. I don't think there was any question about that. There was no argument for McElrath.
A little bit of an argument from Hunchak. Perhaps he's looking for an even-up call at the same time, as there was pushing and shoving afterwards. The Calgary will go to their fourth power play. Moose Jaw started this period having to kill off a big one, and now they're going to need a big kill near the end of the period. There's a shot that just tipped off the target. Calgary setting up here on their fourth power play. Schultz plays it down there 1 for 3 with the man advantage. Shattuck back to Nyren. Nyren partially fanned. Well, yes, I'd say partially fanned on that shot. I thought for a moment his stick was breaking, but it didn't. And now Nyren gets it back again, and he has some room as he brings it in over the line. Nyren, hard pass right over there. Now it's Stone shooting it, and it went off a stick high and wide. Kozin and Schultz also up there as the forwards joining Shattuck. Nyren and Stone are the point men. Nyren collects the puck. Nyren shot again off a stick. Kozin hunts it down. Brandon Kozin now to Michael Stone. Shoot, save, rebound. Another chance, score! Brandon Kozin, a power play goal, 4-1 Calgary.
So many goals start with 15. Kozin retrieving a puck and getting it back to Stone. And that allows Stone to get shots through. That's the start of the power play. And boy, if you don't find Kozin, he's just going to really burn you. Nice little pass from behind the net. Kozin starts it. Stone keeps it right along the ice. They can't block it. And Schultz with Shattuck. Schultz in front, taking up position. Shattuck with that neat little pass back to Kozin in front. And I think everybody on that Calgary Hitmen bench breathes a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Another chance for Calgary. And another one yet again as they announce that scoring play. So it's Kozin from Shattuck and Stone at 16:36.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't think you can fault Jeff Bosch certainly on that one. I think that the only goal I would say he would probably want back was the one that opened the scoring when Cody Sylvester blew one over his glove side. But he's been under a siege. When the Hitmen have been good, when they've been good in the offensive zone, watch the pass by Shattuck, a little back pass. You know, I credit the goaltender Bosch for staying in pretty good position there, even though it looked like Shattuck was going behind the net. He threw it to the front. He didn't bite on it, Bosch did. He kept his position pretty good.
McKenzie takes a shot as he was allowed to roam in from the point position, and Bosch makes another save. Here's that swarm again, Bill, the follow-up shift, the bump up, if you will.
Yeah.
They come in waves.
Yeah, and it comes from everywhere, too. Every player on the ice, if it's not a defenseman or forward or, big guy going to the front of the net, somebody's always going to it. Good to see Fisenko back. He's got, I'm sure, a couple stitches in that lip of his, some playoff experience. I think with the Vancouver Giants did him an awful lot of good. He's been a key part of this team.
Calgary Hitmen trying to come all the way back down from 3-1. Mind you, if you're #1 overall and you have home ice, being down 3-1, it's a big, big chore, don't get me wrong, but you need a 3-game winning streak, and they had 9 streaks of 3 games or more this year, and a lot of them were a lot longer than 3. Here's Bast on the rebound, taking a shot. He broke his stick, and here comes Calgary. Shattuck gaining the line, tries to get it past the last man there, McMaster, but he couldn't. From the blue line, a long shot taken by Stebner, and that was a knuckleballer that went wide. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the second period. And in this series, no team has come from behind when trailing after 2.
This is a shot that Bass takes, and his stick absolutely disintegrates. Watch number 20. There's the shot. No part of the stick left. Throws it down. You wonder with the money you pay for those sticks, he's got one in each hand. What the heck? Give me something that's not going to fall apart on me. The only player left from that championship, Eastern Conference Championship team of Moose Jaw a couple years ago is Jason Bass. Played all his career in Moose Jaw.
And when you add up his goals this year, he's now up to 40, 33 in the regular, and his 7th of the playoffs tonight. A lot of goals over the years. Fisenko takes a shot. Bosch makes the save, and we go down to Bringman.
Well, as you guys watch this scrum in front of the net right now, this is specifically what head coach Mike Williamson and the rest of the Calgary Hitmen are wanting to stay away from. They have a 4-1 lead right now, and penalties, as we saw in the first period, because of scrums after the whistle, is exactly what they want to avoid, and they are stressing it after every whistle.
Well, if you needed a wake-up reminder on that, I think Mike Williamson was able to point out, as you can see, settle down, settle down. That last Moose Jaw power play, Dan, was dynamic. It was, I mean, they did everything but score. And I think Mike Williamson, that's a good move on his part, guys. Let's not give this Warrior team any man advantage situation. Give them no reason to get back into this hockey game. No reason to have life. That's what you want if you're a Hitman.
Long shot. Oh, and it went off the goalpost. It hit Fisenko in front and just went off the goalpost. Another chance off the boards. Comes back to Stone, shoots it, went off a leg wide. The pressure continues by Calgary at this stage. Fisenko in the corner. Beach back there as well. Foucault, Fisenko, and Beach up front. Back the other way. Here's Spencer Edwards. He got the puck to Jesse Paradis and puts it in. Nyron's got it. Off the boards and out to Fisenko. Fisenko gains the line. Beach is with them. Fisenko holds, shot on goal, save. Beach trying for the rebound, but Bosch juggles it, but still holds on to it.
Yeah, again, the Hitmen are relentless in their, attacks towards the net. Foucault makes a good play coming out of the corner. There's a tip in front, and McElrath, the big defenseman for Moose Jaw. I mean, Jeff Bosch has not only got to battle the tip, but look, he's got his own man almost falling on top of him. Terrific concentration by Jeff Bosch to find that puck. A little lucky that it was tipped a little bit wide, caught a little bit of the post as it went to the corner.
Into the final minute of the period. Shattuck, who's had a big night here tonight for Calgary, in there to take the face-off. Bubnik gets it after Shattuck wins the draw. From back of the net, Kendall McFall pinned up there. It squirts free. Bubnik's got it. As soon as he got it, his head was up, saying, "Who can I pass it to?" There's Shattuck. Wrap around. Bubnik can't reach the rebound. And Dale Cowan out on this line, too. Cowan in the last game. So +5, he's +7 in the series. Howden trying to get loose, cannot. Now controlling it is Stebner. Cross ice with 18 seconds to go in the period. Kozin. Here's Bubnik, a pass to the net. Bubnik scores! What a shot!
What a skater! This is the kind of move you want from a big power forward. Jimmy Bubnik He had to know there was very little time left in the second period. Only played 8 playoff games for the Blazers. There's the hit. They moved that puck up the ice. I want you to watch number 14 now.
See how he protected the puck too.
And then went upstairs. Wow.
What a nail in the coffin that appears to be. As we'll pick up the scoring play, the horn is going to sound. Let's pick up the announcement.
Assistant number 15, Brandon Kozin. And the number 5, Matt McKenzie. Time of the goal, 19 minutes, 46 seconds.
McKenzie started it by moving up to Kozin, and Kozin so cute with his passes. A nice little cute pass in the neutral zone. Bubnik on his way, protects the puck. As you said, Bill, great wheels, but a great shot to finish it. And it's 5-1 Calgary after 2 as we go back to Dan Elliott.
Thank you very much, Dan. Coming up in the second intermission, Quentin Howden and the Warriors will be Brendan Parker's guest ringside. Cam Moon will be back for round 2 of Inside the WHL, plus the Calgary Blue Liner and first team Eastern Conference All-Star Michael Stone shares the secret to his big booming shot. All that is coming up next. It's the Hitmen in full control, 5-1 after 40 minutes here in Game 7 of this Eastern Conference quarter.
The WHL, the leading supplier to the NHL for over 40 years. More WHL players are selected each year in the NHL entry draft than any other league in the world. The WHL, your game, your future.
Darren Day, a Victoria real estate agent with over 15 years experience and online at dayteam.com. Darren Day, what a difference a day makes.
Whether you're planning a big residential move or a small one, Williams Moving and Storage can help. At Williams Moving and Storage, we can provide you with personalized service to make your move as stress-free as possible. Online estimates at williamsmoving.com.
Coming soon to Shaw Video on Demand.
If you think about it, your relationships are the heaviest components in your life. Your husband, make no mistake, moving is living.
I'm not really sure how long this whole exercise is supposed to last. No, I don't even think of him that way. He's old.
Williams Moving and Storage WHL Central is brought to you by Williams Moving and Storage. Proud to be part of your community. Online at williamsmoving.com. With Williams, your home.
Leading by a score of 5-1 through 2 periods of play. I'm joined now by Moose Jaw Warriors forward Quentin Howden. Quentin, how deflating are those last 2 goals in that last frame?
Yeah, we want to try and get some boost to, go into the third, and those ones at the end there hurt us real bad. But we're going to try to recuperate in the room and come out with a big start.
Where do you dig down now and find an extra gear?
It's just what we've had all year. It's a long season, and this is what it comes down to. So, if we can all just battle through and push that extra mile, we should be okay.
What have you seen change as far as momentum from the Calgary Hitmen side?
They're just winning all the battles on us right now. We're not competing the way we normally do, the way we have in games before in this series. But like I said, we're going to recuperate in the room and try to come out with a stronger effort.
Just quickly for you personally, how was it to get back in action and watch, or instead of watching this series, get finally into the game?
Yeah, it was exciting. I was fortunate to be able to get back in this series, and hopefully we can come away with a big win here tonight.
Appreciate this.
Thank you.
Forward Quentin Howden, he had 2 assists in that one game he did play in Game 6. Dan?
All right, thank you very much, Brendan. Back now with Cam Moon. And Cam, Moose Jaw, the first half of that period, they were solid. Unfortunately, they just could not find the back of the net.
It was a better period for Moose Jaw. And they had given themselves an opportunity, and had they been able to score, make it 3-2, I really think it would have changed this game completely. Unfortunately, for Moose Jaw, the Hitmen were able to weather that storm. Of course, you give them a chance on the power play, and it's just deadly. I mean, if they don't score, they usually generate a bunch of momentum going their way. And Calgary's so good. They got so much.
And you got to love the play. Dylan McElrath is trying to make something happen. Goes hard to the net. but when you're that big, it's kind of noticeable when you take that little extra shot at the goalie.
It's hard to make it look like an accident anyway, although it wasn't from lack of effort.
No,
they tried to make it look like an accident. Oh, I'm just going to drive it to the net and I'm going to run into the goalie here. That does stir things up.
Calgary's got a full bench over there. All 4 coaches, I haven't seen this before, I haven't seen the first 6 games of the series, but all 4 of their coaches are on the bench. Why do you think they got so many guys out there tonight?
Good instructor to student ratio. You come to play for the Hitmen, you get top quality instruction because they got them all there.
Look at that, we're getting kudos right here. We'll take it.
We're big in Section 117.
Absolutely. Talk about the Calgary Hitmen. Last year, they breezed through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. They swept it. They went the perfect 12-0. They faced some adversity here to start things off. Obviously, they're up 5-1 now. Looks like they're going on the second round. Will you think this will benefit them down the stretch?
I don't think it'll hurt. I really don't. I think they're rolling pretty good now. Having said that, there's some depth with teams in the Eastern Conference. The Brandon Wheat Kings, the Saskatoon Blades are all very good teams. There's not one clear-cut team like there was last year with the Calgary Hitmen. They were clearly the best team in the Eastern Conference. Calgary's got some room at the top right now. Yes, I think this is good that they've faced adversity and they've had to persevere, and it looks like they're going to. But they also got a lot of good teams between them and an Eastern Conference championship, and don't discount the Medicine Hat Tigers, who were able to prevail in 6 over the Kootenay Ice.
And that's who Calgary will take on if they can get it through done.
That's right.
Tonight we talked about Dylan McIlrath trying to take a shot at the goalie. Earlier in the playoffs, you were there live when Red Deer and Saskatoon got after it, and of course Stanford getting hit by Cowan, and then what ensued from there. Maybe just first your thoughts on everything that happened with the brawl at the end and the guys all getting suspended for the Blades.
Well, you know, if the way this went, I mean, yes, Josh Cowan, he ran the goal. He drilled him pretty good too, and Stanford right into the net. Now, hindsight's 20/20, of course. However, if somebody just would have fought Cowan right then and there, like just
probably would have been over.
Well, yeah, Cowan would have got the 5, the game misconduct. He would have got suspended. I don't think he would have got 4 games. He probably would have got 2. No one from the Blades would have got suspended. They would have got a 5-minute penalty, maybe 2 for instigator. There was a few other minors that went back and forth. And yeah, the linesmen did a pretty good job of getting in there. There's only 2 linesmen. There was 5 guys on the ice. I just, if somebody would have called Cowan to task right off the hop, like right after he drilled the goalie, I don't think we would have had all the hoopla. And I don't think they would. Well, obviously there would have been no one suspended from Saskatoon, including head coach Lauren Mulligan. Now, I mean, they were looking for some retribution. I understand that because the goalie got hit.
Were you surprised though that that's the approach that the Blades took?
No, actually, I wasn't. Especially when the power play came out onto the ice. I figured
quite a dynamic group.
I figured something was afoot. and as it turns out, it was. But I mean, a goalie gets run like that, something's going to happen.
Obviously, big key to protect the goalie. Going forward for Saskatoon, 3 of those guys still suspended for another game.
Yeah.
McNaught's got a couple more. Coach Mulligan's got a couple more. Do you think that'll affect them early in the second round? A tougher matchup, obviously.
It'll be a tougher matchup no matter how it shakes down here. But the Blades have great depth up front. No real superstars, but 4 solid lines, and getting Curtis Hamilton back and getting Tegan Zahn back from the injured list and a healthy Yuri Niemi. They have got great depth on the back end. Steven Stanford was very good in that first round series against the Red Deer Rebels, but he never had to be spectacular, and that's because the defense for Saskatoon were that good.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the second round. All right, that's all the time for now, Cam.
Okay.
I doubt there'll be overtime, so we probably won't get to see you again. Thank you very much for doing this.
All right, no problem.
We've got to take a quick break. More to come from here in Calgary. It's the hometown Hitmen up 5-1, 20 minutes away from moving on to round 2.
With Shaw Video on Demand, it's your choice. There's lots to choose from. New releases, action, comedy, kids shows, and more. With Shaw Video on Demand, you choose the movies or television shows you want to watch, and you choose when the show begins. You can even pause, rewind, or fast forward your program anytime you want. Browse anytime, just by using your Shaw remote. It's that easy. TBC Indoor Kart Racing. www.tbcir.ca.
Shaw TV has been sponsored in part by the Tucson at Crowfoot Hyundai. Crowfoot Hyundai Sales and Servicing, located in the Crowfoot Center Northwest.
Even if you have some pain, the best treatment for most back injuries is progressive activity. The sooner you get moving, the sooner you'll feel better. Nobody wants to move their back after it's been injured. And we're not saying move a lot. We're just saying the sooner you get back to normal activity, the sooner you'll get better.
To help the future of sport in Western Canada, Husky has been a long-standing supporter of the WHL's education program. Sponsorships to scholarships, Husky is committed to Canada's youth on the ice and in the classroom. Naturally, it's Husky.
Brandon Kozin and Jimmy Bubnik scored in the second period for the Calgary Hitmen to give them a 5-1 lead here in Game 7 of this Eastern Conference quarterfinal with the Moose Jaw Warriors. Michael Stone, during his career here in the WHL, he has scored 58 goals. A lot of those come courtesy of his booming slap shot. It's one thing to be a lethal slap shot, it's another thing to be accurate, and Stone has both those qualities. Fortunately for us, he was kind enough to share his trade secrets with Brendan Parker, and right now we will share them with you.
Now back to Stone, shot, score!
My name is Michael Stone, and this is how I fire the puck. Me and my brother used to strap the goalie gear on and take shots at each other almost every day. Outside, inside, even if it was too cold outside, we'd bring a net in down the basement and put all the gear on and shoot little balls around each other. Just always hockey all the time, mostly. I think having a hard shot, some guys maybe kind of get out of the way of some things. After they get hit once, they're kind of a little scared of it. It helps out on the power play. I take pride in how hard I can shoot.
This is predictable. That shot is going to happen every time Michael Stone gets this much time, this much space. He's going to get it.
Well, I like a longer stick. My sticks, I don't cut them. They're pretty long. Where I hold my hands, I guess you could say I like the stiffness of the stick. I use 122 flex, so it's pretty stiff. I've been working on my one-timers quite a bit. I don't have as hard a one-timer as I do just stopping and shooting it. I kind of, most of the time I miss it. So I've been working on that a lot. Hopefully I can start connecting with a couple more, kind of like Paul Postman did last year, playing the offside. So hopefully I can work on that a little more.
All right, two other games tonight going on in the playoffs. The Kelowna Rockets leading 1-0 after one period of play. Jordy Woodrick, his 8th postseason goals. He's got 8 points. They're all goals. That series, of course, tied at 3 games apiece. The other game tonight, Spokane in Portland. And why not? The Chiefs leading 2-0 after one period of play. Beach, Coper have scored for Spokane. The Chiefs... every single game in this series has been won by the road team. Winterhawks, by the way, lead the series 3-2. Remember, if you want to keep up to date on your favorite team, players, or just want to know what the score is in the game, go to the league website, whl.ca.
Williams Moving and Storage WHL Central is brought to you by Williams Moving and Storage. Proud to be part of your community. Online at williamsmoving.com. With Williams, your home.
Calgary Hitmen are 20 minutes away from rallying from a 3-1 series deficit and moving on to the second round. They're up 5-1 in this game, and let's rejoin Dan and Bill, get their thoughts through 40 minutes, guys.
Thanks, Dan. Well, those out-of-town scores sure are interesting. I mean, Spokane and Portland, the road team hasn't lost, and Everton, Kelowna, the home team hasn't lost, but Kelowna has a lead after one. And what the second period there, Bill, would you say that when Moose Jaw couldn't score on that power play or didn't score, it kind of turned?
Yeah, it really did. And I'll show you how desperate they were to score. You count the Moose Jaw Warriors that are caught in deep. They try to get everybody in there to open, at least get something involved. We'll stop it there, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every Moose Jaw Warrior is inside the front hash marks. No wonder there's a breakaway. A nice pass from Sylvester to Tyler Fiddler. This was a big save by the goaltender Bosch. I thought at that point that might be a bit of a turning point. It really kept the Warriors in there. Boy, I'll tell you, Ian Schultz is a power forward. Watch number 19 here. He gets the puck. You want to take it to the net. You want to fight off checks. Watch 19. You want to stay around the net. Now, Broda's there to help out, but watch how close this puck came. That was a terrific save by Bosch. This is a play you talked about. Watch McElrath clear it right off the line and out of there. And then you get the Cozen goal. Again, a power play goal. Watch what happens on this, guys. We get the second look at it. A great pass by Shattuck. This is what you're fighting against. Stop it. Now, when Shattuck has got that puck and goes behind the net, watch the space in the face-off circle that Cozen fills. A neat little back pass, a terrific job by Shattuck, and that made it 4-1. And late in that period, what a nice, tricky little pass there to Jimmy Bubnik. Nice posture, strong on the puck, hard to the net, and a terrific shot upstairs. And probably the goal that maybe, I'd be shocked if it wasn't the goal at 5-1 that seals the deal for the Hitmen.
I love the way Shattuck's playing tonight, and he has a lot of points, had one taken away. He's had 5 shots on goal. He's all around the puck. 5-1 after 2 for Calgary. Game 7 in the third period on Shaw right after this.
Discovery Honda. Honda service with factory-trained and certified technicians. Discovery Honda, on the Island Highway, just north of Duncan.
Wheel Pros have trained professionals to help find the wheels that fit your vehicle. They have a large stock of rims, mags, and wheel accessories for your ride, all in their new showroom, 4143 Edmonton Trail Northeast. The Wheel Pros.
A first-class hotel just got even better. The Kelowna Ramada Hotel and Conference Center now features brand new rooms for your comfort, and you can still count on the same attentive customer service to ensure an unforgettable experience. The Ramada Hotel and Conference Center. Reserve your stay today.
Truck Accessories does trucks, cars, SUVs, and vans. Chrome step bars, ladder racks, and box covers are just a small portion of their inventory. See us at 430A 40th Ave Northeast, just off Edmonton Trail, or check our website for more information at truckaccessories.ca.
Petland features a selection of tropical fish, reptiles, small animals, puppies, and kittens, as well as products and services to help take care of your pets. Petland Kamloops, 905 Notre Dame Drive.
The WHL, the leading supplier of hockey scholarships in Western Canada. Over 250 WHL grads are using WHL scholarships across Canada. The WHL, your game, your future.
The Western Hockey League would like to take this time to recognize its prestige partners. Cal Tire, a proud supporter of amateur athletes throughout Western Canada. Cal Tire, true service. And your local Husky and Mohawk retailer, home of Mother Nature's fuel. Naturally, it's Husky.
Back in Calgary, Alberta, it's the WHL playoffs on Shaw. Dan Russell with Bill Wilms, Brendan Parker, and Dan Elliott inside the Saddle Dome. Our executive producer is Russ Greaves. Our game producer is Dave Roberts. Our WHL central producer is Grant Wilkins, and Robertson, our director. All of us at Shaw, not only thank you for tuning us in tonight, but through the first round. And, of course, we're here for all 4 rounds of the playoffs, and we'll tell you where we're off to later in this period, as we know we'll have a game on Friday night. So we'll just see how it all plays out. If Calgary wins, Calgary will play Medicine Hat. And right now, Calgary with a 4-goal lead look like they're on their way to facing another Alberta rival, the Medicine Hat Tigers. As we start this period, the teams are at full strength. Bast who has the only goal for Moose Jaw. Gets the puck back again, throws it through the crease area. Goes out the other side, but Warriors not only get there first, but Bass goes for a big skate, and there he goes again. He's trying to split the defense. Squeezed out at the last moment. There's a centering pass. Give it all you got, Moose Jaw. What do you got to lose? 5-1 down. It's been an 8-1 seeding. We've never had in the East a number 8 team knock off a number 1. Moose Jaw had a 3-1 lead in this series. Hitmen have scored 17 of the last 23 goals in this series, so they've really turned the momentum.
You know, really, we should not be surprised at the start the Warriors got to this series, Dan, winning the first 2 games. This is a team that came together the last couple of weeks of this season, and, you know, they were really in playoff mode all during that time. They were really trying to nail a spot down. And, you know, Hitmen, on the other hand, they were on such cruise control, 21-1 since January 21st. You know, they accomplished some personal goals, and all of a sudden, whack, they get knocked down in the first 2, and they, you know, have done a great job of getting off the canvas.
29 points they finished behind Calgary. Now, historians might note, I went back in the book, 1989 Moose Jaw, 29 points behind Medicine Hat, and they won that series. It was a best of 5. It was a long time ago, down 3-0. This certainly had the makings of a big upset, and now it needs a miracle for Moose Jaw to make that happen. Cox. Long pass, misses everyone, goes through the crease area, but is still icing called on Moose Jaw.
How things do change in the playoffs. You know, Martin Jones had won 9 straight games against the Moose Jaw Warriors. He had a .945 save percentage against the Warriors. That all changed in those first 2 games. And boy, it really did make it interesting. And Jones has had to battle. I talked about it in the first period. He's elevated his game as well, because he did not get off to a very good start.
And a story we can develop if this third period unfolds with Calgary going on to win is how much will this series help Calgary? Last year, you'll recall, they went 12-0 to start the playoffs, and then suddenly they were down 3-0 against Kelowna. They haven't faced any adversity. Well, here, maybe they do it in reverse. They have all their adversity in the first round. It could springboard them. Who knows?
Yeah, it's the way it usually happens, too. You know, it does give, Dan, an opportunity for your leadership group to get involved in the playoffs early. When you win that first series like the Hitmen did last year, 4-0, 4-0 in second series, 4-0 in the third, I mean, really, everybody's just kind of ho-humming through it. You know, it's kind of ha-ha, laugh and giggle. You know, now you had your team really had to do a gut check. And, you know, I think it's really, personally, I think it's going to do wonders for this Calgary team moving forward from here.
You know, we had a nice chat before the game with Jeff Truitt, the general manager of the Moose Jaw Warriors, who we remember with his years in Kelowna. He was 3 years the head coach here. Last year, the American Hockey League Springfield. You look at his coach there, Dave Hunchek, in the bench. I know that they have real high hopes for this organization moving forward. Next year will be the last year in the old Crush Can. They'll play 1 more year in the Crush Can, and then the start of the following season, they'll be in their brand new facility in downtown Moose Jaw.
And let me guess, might Shaw be there for the first game?
For the standalone opener, who knows? There's going to be a penalty here at 2:05 into the period as Calgary will get the gate. Not sure which Hitman is coming over. It is an interference penalty on Kozer.
You almost don't know where to start when you're down by 4. If you're the Warriors, obviously, a little bit of momentum would go a long way at this point. If you could, you can see the interference call come up there. If they can get on the board at this point, a little bit of hope, but it is a must.
Asked as they announce the Kozen penalty. Sewer standing in front of the net as Bass gets it back here to the blue line. Stanton took the shot, tipped off the target. Stanton again holding the puck. The only goal for Moose Jaw was a power play goal, but it was in a 4-on-3 situation. Here's Bass shooting it, and Jones over there to make the save.
I think Bass on the shot, Dan, just handled the puck about a second longer than he would have liked to, and it allowed Martin Jones to get into that position. You see how that puck just bounced about a foot off his stick? I mean, he's got to stop and release all in the same motion, and that probably little 2 feet that puck, or even less, maybe 6 inches, allowed Jones to get real square to the shot.
We mentioned the crowd has been a big factor here tonight. They've been very noisy, and it's a good-sized crowd. Monday night, Game 7, 10,557 is the official attendance here in the Saddle Dome as Bass brings it in over the blue line. McKenzie trying to stay with him. That's what you play all year for, home ice. It's been a factor. Sewer. Stanton. Forced back. Under a minute to go in the power play. Sewer gets it back to Stanton. Stanton holds and shot. That's knocked down. Didn't reach the net. Shattuck stepped in front of that one. Shattuck's been good at both ends of the ice. The only questionable move, I guess, was his penalty in the first period. There's a long shot from the line, and that was knocked down. It was Shattuck in the penalty box for an offensive zone roughing penalty when Moose Jaw scored on a 4-on-3. Here comes your out-of-town scores. As we keep you updated here on Shaw, the Game 7 is tied in Everett, 1-1.
Well, it's been a decent power play. Hasn't been a great one from the Warriors' standpoint. With 13 seconds left, that's not a spot you want to be behind your own net. But let's see if they can generate one more good chance.
Spokane still leading Portland 2-0. Trying to stave off elimination on the road at the Rose Garden. Penalty comes to an end. Cozen back on the ice. Moose Jaw 1 for 3 with the man advantage. In the series, 9 for 29. Joel Broda plays it back. And up here now to Schultz. Schultz gains the blue line. Hard pass off the far boards. Cozen's there, throws it in front. Tipped onto the goal, but Bosch makes the save. Dylan Hood plays it around on the far side. Doesn't come out. Not yet. Now Hood will bring it out. Former Kelowna Rocket brings it in over the line. From back of the net, Rowinski trying to get something to happen there. McElrath from the line, long shot, that's knocked down. Goes back to McElrath. He has room, shoots, and Jones right at the top of his crease. He makes the save and holds on to stop the play. A save for Jones as we look at the Western Conference playoff picture. We know Vancouver is through. We know Tri-Cities is through. They're waiting to see what happens in that Game 7 between Everett and Kelowna, and also what happens in Spokane, Portland.
I don't know if anybody would have predicted that the Winterhawks would go in and sweep the season series against the Spokane Chiefs in Spokane, and also 3 games in the playoffs. That's unheard of, unbelievable. I mean, it's hard to fathom, but that is a real good Portland Winterhawk team, and they're getting nice goaltending from Matt Caruth. He's done a good job. One of the 3 17-year-olds in the league in the playoffs. 17-year-old goaltenders.
Somebody told me the last time Portland won 3 road games in one building in 1 year, you and I were doing that series down in Seattle in 1996. So that's happened here. Isn't it funny when Spokane and Portland get together? I mean, you referenced that the other day. I mean, Spokane's the only team to ever come back down from 0-3. This is a weird one, and so much as the road team has done all the winning.
That U.S. division, I said this before, 4 of the teams all had sizable winning records away from their home ice. They were very accustomed, very comfortable, those U.S. division teams, all except Seattle. Very comfortable playing away from home. Boy, I like to play this McElrath.
But it's been a first round where the road team can win a lot. They've got 19 road wins out of 41 games heading into tonight. The road team in round 1 of the 2010 playoffs. Always makes it more exciting when that happens. And we knew that this year it was a little bit more difficult for the higher seeded teams to advance along. Back in his own zone. Stanton pulls him down. There's a centering pass, puck chopped into the air, and it comes out to center ice. Nearing the 6-minute mark of the 3rd period.
I think the biggest surprise of all the playoffs for me was the Rebels, Red Deer Rebels, getting swept in 4 by Saskatoon. I mean, we know the Blades are a very, very good team, and they learned a lot last year, too. A Saskatoon team, by the way, that had virtually the same performance, Dan. If you look at the Blades, what their players did last year, scoring-wise, and what they did this year, almost identical. They had so many guys match their record from the year gone by, and then obviously that they had a lot that they learned from that playoff loss in 7 games to Lethbridge. I knew they were solid. I thought Red Deer would offer a little bit more, and wasn't that a surprise? A couple of players that didn't play game 4 for Red Deer.
Saskatoon and Brandon could be the 2nd round matchup. If this score holds, it will be. What do you make of that series if it happens? Saskatoon and Brandon.
Well, I think it's going to be a major effort by somebody to knock the Brandon Wheat Kings out. They're just too strong in every position. Kelly McCrimmon's just done a great job of fortifying the club through the trades that he had to make. I think their goaltending is pretty solid. Jacob DeSeras has done well for him in the net. It's just a formidable task to beat the Brandon Wheat Kings.
Icing stops the play, so that would be the matchup if this score holds, and then Calgary would play Medicine. We had Medicine Hat last night on Shaw, beating Kootenay, and that was a strange series in so much as Kootenay won the first two somewhat handedly, and then the next four were all won by the Medicine Hat Tigers.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty game, but they got it done last night. Tony Honusek, 18 from the Czech Republic. What a year he's had.
And if you're watching tonight, Wacey Hamilton, we hope you're feeling a little bit better than the last time we saw you. Shattuck puts the puck in. Broder trying to chase it down. Smith has it, and away he goes. Smith up to Hood. Hood trying to get around Nyren. Hood going hard to the net, throws it in front. Unable to get his stick on it was Rowinski, and that kind of is the tail of the tape for Rowinski. No goals, no assists in 6 games and 2 periods, and tonight no shots on goal for Rowinski. Smith at the side scores! They got one back. It's a 5-2 game. Is that Smith who took that one in?
They just won't go away. They won't quit. They keep pucks in the offensive zone. And I think that whole sequence started with the rush that Hood made when he went around the defenseman. It was Giffen Nyren. The puck kept alive inside the zone. Once you get it back to the point, nice job by Hood to stay around. What a neat little flip pass. And there's a deflection. Credit the defenseman with a nice shot wide. He knew that that Hood was going to be in that spot to redirect that puck. That play, that sequence was started by Hood. It was finished by Hood. He's a tenacious, terrifically tenacious two-way player.
There's the announcement on Hood's second of the playoff from Smith at 7:33.
Kevin Smith and to number 29, Antonin Honusek. Time of the goal, 7 minutes, 33 seconds.
All right, so they're 3 down in game 7. Quentin Howden puts the puck in the corner. Stranger things have happened, down 3. Not so much I'm thinking comeback, but I'm wondering about the goalie and whether they pull out all the stops in the last 10 minutes and maybe get the goalie out for an extra tacker way earlier than you might think.
Now you gotta like the bump up shift. Hood making it 5-2. Martin Jones, they're not leaving him alone, are they? That's a good shift by the following line that comes out after you've scored a goal. Keep the puck, get another shot, force Jones to make another save, and more importantly, probably get a face-off in the offensive zone. Cody Smuck will try to get that face-off win for the Warriors. What a nice veteran hockey player this guy is. I love the way Cody Smuck plays pucks along the boards. He's so good with his feet. I don't know if I've seen many guys in the league that play pucks along the boards better with their feet than Cody Smuck does.
Stanton holds the puck, puts it back at the net. 5-1 of the shots here in the second period in favor, or the third period rather, in favor of Moose Jaw. Stone has his stick lifted by Smuck. Schultz, hard pass, misses everybody. This will be icing called. Face off all the way back.
Well, another guy I think probably would have liked to step his game up a little bit more for the Warriors was Spencer Edwards, 19-year-old. He wears number 27 for the Warriors. Pretty good season with, 40 points, 19 goals. The only Warrior to play all 72 games, but he's been held off the score sheet with just the 1 assist coming into tonight's game.
Schultz wins the face-off for Calgary, gets it back to Stone. Up there to make a good play with Smith. He gets it back to the blue line, and a shot is taken and smothered by Jones. Moose Jaw not going quietly here in the third. They've got one, and they've had the puck down there a lot.
Dan, I talked about Tony Honusek earlier. I mean, you talk about a Czech Republic player, an import. Jeff Truitt was talking to us tonight about what a nice adjustment he made. He went 12 games without a goal in the Western Hockey League. Then he ends up with 16. Now he's got 4 in the playoffs. All 4 goals that Honusek scored have been in this Saddle Dome here. So you talk about a European, making that adjustment.
Look at this chance right at the side of the net there for Rowinski, and he couldn't finish it off. Good chance there for Rowinski, and he went to the net nicely. Jones said no. Here comes Fiddler. Fiddler shot high and wide and deflected out of play.
You want to keep taking pucks to the net. You're Moose Jaw. You're trailing by 3 now. Face off in the offensive zone. Rowinski's going to get that puck. He gets a little lane. Again, in front of the net, McKenzie's trying to cover the guy closest to the play, and Rowinski says, you know what, there's a little seam there I can get it through. Love the puck retrieval to get that puck right back. They're not leaving Jones alone. It's not going to be an easy next 11 minutes, I think, for the Calgary Hitmen goaltender.
Kendall McFall comes out. We'll update you on the Spokane-Portland score. There it is. Spokane now with a 3-1 lead in Game 6. That's a Game 6. That format, Game 7 will be back in Spokane. Does Spokane want Game 7 back at home?
Decline.
Yeah. I seem to remember Prince George and Kootenay in a series years ago, not that long ago, like in the last 10, where the road team won the first 6, and then Kootenay came back and won Game 7. I'd have to go look that up, but that certainly rings a bell.
I must have been somewhere in California golfing.
Really?
Are you surprised?
No. But you won't be going there for a while yet. We got a lot of action coming up here on Shaw.
That's a nice looking crowd too, isn't it? I mean, that's great support in here for the Hitmen. Look at Cozen break down, coming back to back check. Wow.
Howden, full flight going in. Can't get there first, but he caused the turnover nonetheless with his speed, and now he's in that corner. Cozen's got it. He'll flip it out to center. Calgary with just the one shot as we hit the halfway mark of this third period. They're not looking for shots. They're looking for the time to expire. Broda, though, you never have to convince him to shoot. And that went up into the glove, and we'll take a break. 9:47 to go. Third period, Game 7. Calgary 5, Moose Jaw 2 on Shaw.
With over 80 years of experience, Williams Moving and Storage can plan and coordinate any office from start to finish, so you can focus on getting back to business. Online estimates at williamsmoving.com.
Waste management landfills provide more than 17,000 acres of protected land for wildlife habitat. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green, think waste management.
Darren Day, a Victoria real estate agent with over 15 years experience and online at dayteam.com. Darren Day, what a difference a day makes.
(5-2) Hitmen with 10 minutes left in the period. Basically, if you missed it, this is how we got there. Calgary opened the scoring. Important for them to do so. Cody Sylvester, 1-0, nice shot. 4-on-3 power play. Warriors tie it. Jason Bass ties it at 1. Bunch of net crash in here. It ends up being shot in the net by a Moose Jaw player on his own net. Bubnik with the credit for the goal. A nice deflection on the power play made it 3-1 by Shattuck. And late in there, you see the back pass there. Late in the period, those last 2 goals, that one by Bubnik, the one earlier by Cozen, they came in the last 5 minutes of period number 2. That made it 5-1. And this Moose Jaw team not going away. You see Dylan Hood there on a nice deflection by a Smith shot from the point. Makes it 5-2 at this point. 9:47 left in this 7th and deciding game.
Our producer Dave Roberts looked up the 2002 Prince George Kootenay series, and that's exactly how it unfolded. It was a 2-3-2, and the first 6 games were won by the road team before Kootenay won to advance. Moose Jaw on the attack. Dylan Hood centering pass. Overskated. Here's an opportunity for Edwards. Can't get it in front. Foucault dumps it over there to Sylvester, who chops it out to the center ice area. I would keep an eye on the goalie. Would you pull him soon, Bill?
Yeah, you know, what are you protecting? A 3-goal deficit? What is the point? You know, and I often wonder about that. But you want to save face.
Pretty good on the power play too tonight. Now 6-on-5 would be different. I think it's a little early still, but within about the 5-minute mark, perhaps. Here's Rowinski going in. On the other hand, you never know. They might get one to make it 5-3, so you don't want to pull them too early. See what the coach has to think about. We can't even decide yet.
Well, they certainly were effective on their, the one power play in the second period where I think Martin Jones probably had to be his best. Even though they
turning point of the game, no?
Yeah, no, I would say it was, even though they gave up that shorthanded breakaway chance that Bosch bailed them out with. But you can see what the Warriors were trying to do, and that was get extra people in front. They actually had a couple defensemen in front of that. Another broken stick. They're just shattering.
Yeah, they are. And there's Jones covering it up.
Mike Williamson, 54 games of playoff experience, 24 wins, 30 losses. And, I'll tell you, this last 8 minutes and 10 seconds can be great for his hockey club to concentrate on playing tough defense. If the game's in the bag with a 3-goal lead, so be it. But if you're Coach Williamson, you are right now, you're preparing for the second round of the playoffs against the Medicine Hat Tigers. How you play the last 8 minutes.
That's a good point. There's coaching to be done, developing to be done, and winning to be done.
Well, see, Dan, you can't simulate a lot of this in practice situations, can you?
No
the
way.
Intensity's just not there.
Game 7, 3-goal lead for Calgary. Asham from the line, that's blocked away. We'll update you on there's been a goal in the Everett Game 7. We'll update that in a second. There's a goal here! And that'll do it. If it wasn't done already. 6-2. Calgary with 7.5 to go. And it's Sylvester scoring another one. He started the scoring tonight, and he gets goal number 6.
The Hitmen have been so strong, Dan, on the puck in the offensive zone when they've been patient, when they've worked hard with it. That puck came off a scrum on the wall, and they got it to Sylvester. Watch the shot. That's the second chance. The first one went off into the corner. I thought the Hitmen did a good job of getting the puck back and getting another chance almost from the same spot.
Is that Beach who dug that puck out nicely again? He's had a nice game here, quietly.
Yeah, you bet.
Sylvester. Assistant number 32, Cody Beach. Time of the goal, 12 minutes, 24 seconds.
Not sure if the Beach family's multitasking tonight. But older brother Kyle playing in Game 6 in that Spokane series against Portland. The Beach family from Kelowna, that Kelowna team playing Game 7, and then you got Beach, the younger boy, here in Calgary. So I'll bet that internet is flying there in Kelowna.
Yeah, that's a big sigh of relief. Not that 5-2 was a whole lot questionable, but
2-1.
Take a look at that score, folks.
Lucas Bludoff, the go-ahead goal there, second period action. And now Portland's within 1. There's what Bill used to dress up for Halloween. Realize they do that here in March in Calgary, but sometimes you do.
Dan, if you go back to the Everett series with the Rockets, it's interesting that Silvertips, they've really shared their goaltending with Simpson and Heemskirk. I'm not sure who's starting that game tonight, but 2 goaltenders entered the playoffs, both 92 save percent.
It's 6 goals on 28 shots for Calgary tonight. Turns out this is the 29th playoff series for both teams. Calgary's been in the league 10 years shorter than Moose Jaw. Moose Jaw has 12 series wins and 17 losses over the years, and Calgary will be 19-11 as long as they can hold on to their lead here tonight. The Hitmen have been a playoff machine. 13 straight years in the playoffs, about to advance to round 2 for the 6th straight year. And last year they were in the final. And you never know what would have happened in that Kelowna series. Talk about comebacks. Had somehow they found the game-winning goal in the overtime in Game 6. There's Howden, power move. Tried to get a shot, couldn't. Stone flips it out of play. Is that a penalty? They're talking about it. Might have went off a stick.
If you count this as in the bag, it's 6-2 with 5:41 left. The last 4 wins in this series for the Calgary Hitmen, Dan, they've outscored the Warriors 25-10. And that was really what fans could not believe when this series started. As much as anything, the fact that the Calgary Hitmen would drop the first 2 games in this building, that's one thing. But only generate 3 goals by the Calgary Hitmen, while the Warriors got 8. I think that was a thing that really shocked everybody. Now, having said that, you know the job that Bosch did in goal for the Moose Jaw Warriors, but it seems like this Hitmen team is on a roll right now.
They are going to have to kill off that delay a game penalty, or try to, on Stone as Stanton holds the puck. Stanton gets possession. Puts it down in the corner. Stanton, Cody Smuck, Jason Bass. Their major junior careers will be coming to an end here tonight. And we salute all of them for their efforts. And this Moose Jaw team has a lot of 17-year-olds in their lineup. They look like they're taking a step forward here, Bill. And I you know, you could get the sense talking to the Warriors today that absolutely 100% want to win this game, but at the same time, you've got a lot of development that's happened within the last couple of weeks for this Moose Jaw team that should, I mean, you never know how it plays out, but it should augur well for them.
Yeah, I think it'll augur well with them going in that building, that new building in Moose Jaw. That'll be a nice hockey club to follow and become a real fan of. You bet, I totally agree with you. Kids grow up so quick in the playoffs, don't they? I mean, we saw that. You mentioned it in the Kamloops Vancouver series. We watched Austin Medeski. We watched other players grow up in front of your eyes in the 4 games that were played in that series. That's what playoffs are about, lifting your game to another level. And especially, boy, you're in your draft year 17. There's scouts just hanging on everything you do to see how you perform in this situation. Boy, he's had a very good playoff, Kevin Smith. Anybody you talk to says he may have been one of the most impressive players in this playoff series so far. Huge elevation in his game.
18-year-old from North Vancouver. One of 14 BC boys in this game. We have 19 Alberta boys in this game. Spokane has scored another goal to make it 4-2 in Portland, trying to stave off elimination. In a moment or two, we're going to tell you where our Shaw cameras are going for the next round. Puck shot down the ice on to Bosch. Half a minute to go in the Stone penalty. 4 minutes to go in Game 7. Calgary scored first. It was 1-1 halfway through the first, but then 2 goals within a 2.5-minute span late in the first opened up a 3-1 lead. Big part of the game was the first 10 minutes of the second. Moose Jaw had, well, there was some great action in that game, and had they made it 3-2, who knows? But Calgary didn't allow that goal, scored 2 more of their own, and have been just trying to be in prevent mode here since. As you see, Honacek test Jones will have the scrum here in the corner. And we should just see how that sorts itself out. It looks like it's going to be fine. Our shot cameras, turns out, aren't going to go too far if this score holds. Our next round, it'll be the Medicine Hat Tigers and the Calgary Hitmen starting on Friday night here in Calgary. And you can see that there are tickets are going to be going on sale all around the WHL for the teams that advance to round number 2. So Medicine Hat and Calgary, that's our primary series. Next round starting Friday here in the Saddle Dome.
Battle of Alberta of sorts. I guess that cliche has been used 1,000 times if it's been used once. Whether you're,
but it will be.
Red Deer battling Red Edmonton or Calgary battling Lethbridge, but I mean it's certainly a playoff to look forward to.
An all Alberta second round series. And as we mentioned, Brandon will play Saskatoon. That'll be round 2 unless something incredible happens here in the last 3 minutes. Asham puts the puck up high. Trying to chase it down in that corner is Cowan. Bubnik puts the puck wide. This will be our third handshake we'll show you in less than a week here on Shaw. Kamloops and Vancouver shook hands after a 4-game sweep. We had Medicine Hat last night shaking hands with Kootenay on Shaw. Here comes Moose Jaw, and a chance, and a shot goes wide of the net. That was Spencer Edwards who tried to get Moose Jaw to within 3. Smith puts the puck in. Held in. Smuck shot, high and wide, bounces off the glass. Hitmen get it out, and it's Schultz who will just carry it into the Moose Jaw zone. Pass. That was intended for Royer, who hasn't seen a lot of ice time tonight. Young Mackenzie Royer out there, wearing number 22. Cody Smuck going in. We're under 2 minutes remaining in the third. Asham rolls it onto the far side. Foucault flips it off the boards up high. Finally comes down in the center ice area. Foucault trying to move it in. Wilson goes back. Foucault in over the blue line. Foucault shoots, and Bosch makes the save. Shots at 31-28 for Calgary. Quentin Howden. Can't wait to see how he develops over the next few years. That pass broken up. Nyren shoots the puck in. And the fans getting to their feet here, some of them, as they're down to 1 minute remaining in game number 7. Calgary with another chance. Calgary is going to even up their all-time record to 4-4 in game 7s. That used to be an albatross for them. Moose Jaw will be 1-2 in their long history. Haven't had many game 7s. They had one against Calgary and they beat them. Well, let's listen to the fans here. With a half a minute to go, they're all on their feet. Seconds left. Congratulations to the Calgary Hitmen. They're through to round 2.
Well, the crowd expected it. They just didn't think it would take 7 games to get it done. On to round 2.
As they come out to congratulate both goalies, we'll get ready for the handshake here. After these two teams staged a 2-week battle, it starts and ends here at the Saddle Dome. And it ends with Calgary rallying from 3 games to 1 down. You need a 3-game win streak?
Look at that. Boy, it's tough to see 20-year-olds play their last game in this league. The only player remaining, we talked about it earlier, from the 06 Conference Championship, Jason Bass, played his entire career in Moose Jaw. Boy, you fans watching in Moose Jaw, you know the treat it's been watching that young man play. Ryan Stanton, number 4. 20-year-old from St. Albert. Good for him. Chicago Blackhawk contract in his pocket.
And Cody Smuck.
Cody Smuck, number 10. Boy, oh boy. Expansion, Chilliwack Bruins. Never going to be a big scorer, Smuck, but boy, is he going to give you heart and more heart.
And there's Jeff Bosch. He'll be 20 next year. And he was a story early in this series, and Jones became a story late in this series, and it seemed like the team that had the best goaltending throughout the series on the game-to-game basis was the one that went off to a victorious dressing room. And speaking of which, what can you say about Tyler Shattuck, and Jimmy Bubnik, and Giffen Nyren? They've never been on a winning dressing room after a series. Bubnik and Shattuck with those Kamloops teams. So what must they be feeling right now? This is what it feels like they think.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is what we missed.
All right, there's Mike Williamson, first-year coach. being congratulated by Dave Hanchuk.
You know, one thing, too, I want to add real quickly. We talk about the playoff experience that this has done for the Moose Jaw Warriors. Dave Hunchak, 6 games of playoff experience. Add 7 more now. That's 13. That's going to be a big factor going forward in this Moose Jaw franchise as a young man behind the bench for the Warriors.
Final score, Calgary Hitmen 6, Moose Jaw Warriors 2. We'll have post-game reaction from Game 7 on Shaw right after this.
The gutter filter system from Sun Valley Window Cleaners. It seals out all types of debris, including leaves, pine needles, and seed pods. Invisible from the ground and no maintenance required. Water pours through it while everything else blows over the top. For more information, go to sunvalleywindowcleaners.com.
Whether you're planning a big residential move or a small one, Williams Moving and Storage can help. At Williams Moving and Storage, we can provide you with personalized service to make your move as stress-free as possible. Online estimates at williamsmoving.com.
TBC Indoor Kart Racing. www.tbcir.ca.
The EX35 is available at Hyatt Infinity in the Calgary Auto Mall.
Petland features a selection of tropical fish, reptiles, small animals, puppies, and kittens, as well as products and services to help take care of your pets. Petland Kamloops, 905 Notre Dame Drive.
We're not saying don't pick up your children, just do it correctly. As little as 20 minutes of activity a day is all it takes to keep your back flexible and strong, allowing you to safely lift even your most precious cargo.
Post Powertrain specializes in heavy-duty transmissions and differentials for the logging, mining, transportation, and trucking industries. They also offer a complete driveline facility for 4x4s and pickup trucks. Post Powertrain, drivelines, transmissions, differentials, and custom truck design.
Back in Calgary, where the handshake has just taken place, and a big sigh of relief for the Calgary Hitmen organization. What turned the series, Bill?
Dan, I think when the Calgary Hitmen went into Moose Jaw, where they'd only lost 7 games all season, a tough place to play, they won 2. They had to win 2 to keep this series alive. You knew they were going to be good in this building, and they got the job done. I think the series turned in Moose Jaw.
And now they get Medicine Hat starting on Friday night. We'll have that on Shaw as we go downstairs to Brendan Parker.
Thanks, guys. With tonight's first star, Jimmy Bubnick. Jimmy, you're just talking about your first series win. What a relief is that?
Oh, you know, it's a huge relief. You know, every time to get the first one out of the way and, you know, get the momentum and just go from there, it's great. Feels great, but we know we got a lot of work ahead of us, so, you know, let's keep on getting at it, and, you know, we hopefully not go down 3-1 at the start of the next series.
Is this team better today, having gone through this?
Oh, for sure. You know, we got behind the 8 ball there, and, you know, we just kept on working, got through some adversity, and, you know, we just came together as a group, and, you know, going forward, that's huge.
Game 6, you thought you had the first playoff goal. Tonight you get it. What kind of relief is that to be able to contribute to this club?
Oh, you know, anytime you can contribute, no matter what it is, goal, assist, big hit, it feels great, you know. So just to get the first one out of the way, you know, it feels great.
Moving forward, you get the Medicine Hat Tigers. What do you expect out of that team?
You know, they're a good north-south team. You know, we just got to chip pucks, do the same thing that we did in games 6 and 7 in this series, and, you know, get behind their D and, you know, finish our hits.
A newly formed line, Shattuck, yourself, and Cowan. How has that come together, and what's been the spark so far?
Oh, we've got some chemistry going right now. You know, just keeping things simple. You know, just mucking out down low and getting our scoring chances from there.
Really appreciate you doing this, and good luck in round number 2.
For sure. Thanks a lot.
Jimmy Bubnick, all smiles as we go over to Dan Elliott.
All right, thank you very much, Brendan, as we'll get an opportunity to look at the Sobeys 3 stars. Bubnick, your first star. You had the 2 goals tonight. Brandon Cozen, star number 2, a goal and 2 assists. And Cody Sylvester, his brother's WHL career finished up last night when Kootenay Ice lost. But Cody is going on in the second round. He had a pair of goals tonight. Remember, for great meal ideas and ingredients, just add Sobeys. 10,557 fans on hand to see the Calgary Hitmen wrap things up. 6-2 the final. They are moving on to the second round. We'll be right back to wrap things up from here and take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard one more time.
Postnet Print and Business Center, offering graphics, printing, signs, banners, and courier solutions by Canada's top 3 shippers, FedEx, Canada Post, and Purolator. Postnet, Kelowna's exclusive FedEx shipping center.
The WHL, the leading supplier to the NHL for over 40 years. More WHL players are selected each year in the NHL entry draft than any other league in the world. The WHL, your game, your future.
We're not saying don't bend your back, just bend correctly. 25% of all work injuries are back-related. So keep fit, maintain flexibility, and bend your knees when picking up even the smallest object.
Husky, committed to finding alternative ways to keep us all moving. Our ethanol blended fuel boosts vehicle performance, lowers emissions, and supports Western Canadian farmers. Learn more about Mother Nature's fuel at myhusky.ca. Naturally, it's Husky.
Hi, I'm Darren Sedin. Hi, I'm Henrik Sedin. We're here to talk about Beagles in the City. When you sponsor Beagles Culture, you help children with disabilities through the BC Lions Society.
Guys, it's Eagles in the City.
Huh?
It's an eagle sculpture.
What?
When you sponsor an eagle sculpture, you help children.
Guys!
There's another Game 7 going on tonight, and it's the Kelowna Rockets leading the Everett Silvertips 2-1 through 2 periods of play. Jordy Woodrick and Bludoff have the goals. Easy for me to say. Of course, that series tied at 3. Other game going on tonight. Spokane 4-2 on the Portland Winterhawks. No shock here as the road team has won every game. Winterhawks, though, lead this series 3-2. Obviously, still a chance to try to wrap things up in the 3rd period of play. And of course, in our game tonight, it was the Calgary Hitmen defeating the Moose Jaw Warriors. 6-2 was your final. Bubnik and Sylvester each with a pair of goals. Cozen a goal and 2 helpers. Shattuck a goal and assist as Martin Jones made 26 saves as the Hitmen rally from a 3-1 deficit to defeat the Moose Jaw Warriors. Final games of their WHL careers for Ryan Stanton, Cody Smuck, and Jason Bass as the season ends for the Warriors, the 25th anniversary season. Of course, Calgary now moving on to the second round where they will face the Medicine Hat Tigers. Saskatoon will take